I was sitting on a curb at a convention, or it was like a, not a convention, but like a work. Where they have like a weapon and everything's vocabulary suddenly disappeared. Some kind of event. I was sitting in the parking lot and this semi-truck drove by me. Like 3 feet in front of me, just drive across.
Late nights on the stage, lights flashing red. You know I'm trying to get in your head.
What are you talking about?
But every time I think I've got my shot, my drummers there making sure I do not. I play lead, no spotlight to steal. But every move feels like a third wheel. A killer riff ain't got nothing on. Afraid I won't leave you alone. Crash off the cymbals, blocking my shots. Every time I think she's getting hot,
They get louder when I'm talking because they're talking back.
he's the worst way
My mom's like, the songs are so loud! You're so good.
I see the way she's looking my way. He steps in with something to say. I'm left hanging like a struck chord. Every time I think I've scored. Drummer boy, I know you got my back. Except when we're under attack. When it comes to love, you're killing my vibe. Another night, another bribe. Crash off the sim.
Oh, snap, something's going on with that. Oh well. Well, live. We're live. So, for some reason my transition didn't work right, but. If you guys want to do a mic check just to make sure everyone can be heard.
Okay, testing.
Somebody actually on Twitch?
A what?
Testing.
Testing.
I'm trying to go to the thing.
Alright, try that again, Eric.
Hello.
Okay, be quiet.
I got you.
I got him at 200.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what the problem is.
Well,
Is it using a different mic for you or something?
No, same mic as normal.
is it registering on your computer that it's going? It's connected?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I could do is I can turn everybody down and turn up my volume to max, or something. Let's try something along that line. Okay. Sound check one more time, please.
Hello.
Alright.
Testing.
Check 1 2.
Hello.
Turn you down.
Levels.
Yo.
Better. I think that's better now, because now I can actually hear Eric. And I think.
A cat sitting on your head.
Yeah.
Are you guys listening to Twitch? It's really quiet for me. Can somebody else check it?
Oh, if I check it.
Yeah, it's real quiet for me.
About time.
Yeah, it's real quiet for me.
Okay.
That's better now.
Yeah.
Maybe?
I can't check on my end, otherwise it comes back as feedback, so I can't. Unless I pull out my phone.
It's just Ashley that's quiet.
Oh, me? That's a new one. Well, I have an individual mic here.
I
I
guess
can
it's kinda quiet.
fix. A what?
Oh. Everyone will have to just turn it up at home.
Testing.
Or turn it off. That's also, you know.
I don't. Okay. Well, let's turn this up a little bit more. All right. Try that.
We all get quiet.
Oh yeah. Looks like I can't get too much louder. It looks like. Oh, I got a cat right there. Okay. Oh, dang. I also have to remember to do this. Let's see here. Because if I don't do this, anyone who's listening may have some issues. Also listening and hearing things. Alright. Can you guys do a sound check to make sure I can hear you and this is plugged in right?
Hello.
Hello.
Good.
Hello.
Ew.
Testing, testing.
Alright.
Hello? Hello?
Awesome.
Testing, testing. Hello? Hello?
I hear some feedback and I don't know
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
where that's coming from.
Hello? Yeah, I'm getting that. Hello? Alright.
I don't know.
Is it good enough for,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good enough, although there... Okay, it sounds like the feedback is gone, so... All set.
Alright.
Oh, kitten.
Your Cardinal's backwards, Eric, just so you know.
Ah. I need to delete the wrong one.
Land rack.
How about now?
Perfect.
That's right.
Which one are you? Garfield. You.
Alright. Last session. The group explored the ferryman's house, uncovering both a stash of treasure and a grim discovery. A body. Winley looted the chest, though Sonny noticed, questioning what she found. And Winley distributed the findings, including a healing potion she split with all, and some gems she shared with Charles. Silver bars, being quite heavy, were distributed amongst the group and loaded on the vehicles. And on the body, Winley discovered a ledger, which could have only been used by the actual ferryman. And so the group confronted the so-called ferryman and learned he had killed the true owner over unpaid wages. Despite his crime, the group chose mercy, and Zama untied him and even gave him some money as compensation for his lost pay.
I didn't. That was,
That
Sonny.
resolved it.
That was Sonny.
Sonny gave him money?
Yes.
Yes.
I was
Wow.
going to, but Sonny did instead. That's
Much
how come I remember it.
Much to Winley's confusion after she was yelled at about monies, then group monies were given to a guy without consulting the group.
I think that was, no, that was just his money. That was just Sonny's money that he gave. I think his share. Oh, no,
There
it was
was
one of the gold
the
bars.
silver bars that we
Yeah.
had not yet distributed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was silver bars.
I guess that's considered group.
You've got more than your share, Anna. You're fine.
I have
Would that
significantly
resolve-
less gold than all of you, but anyhow.
Yeah, with that resolved, they prepared their caravan and travelers for the journey to Baldur's Gate. However, tensions arose when Sane told Barash she was no longer welcome, prompting her to depart in search of Calliope's group. About 60 miles into their travel, over a 200-mile journey, on the third evening of the trip, the group engaged in speculation with their fellow travelers about various rumors, and meanwhile, Winley discovered newfound abilities, such as summoning blades and telepathic communication that she tried with Julius. And Charles experienced a haunting vision of an elderly woman who offered him answers about his lineage in exchange for signing the Book of Azathoth. When Charles agreed, the woman transformed into a shadowy male figure of pure darkness. The eerie encounter was followed by chaos. Cultists launched an attack on the camp. Some emerged from the woods, clad in dark cloaks and skull masks, while others advanced down the road. Bald-headed and robed in black with red accents. Among them was a particularly unnerving figure, an old man in ragged robes with a white beard, wielding a flail made with a skull. His appearance brought back memories of a similar foe the group had faced in El Terrell. Battle erupted as the session ended, leaving the group amidst the chaos of the cultist assault. So to the chaos we will return.
at my cat.
All right. So I think we are starting off at the top of the round with Sane.
Okay, sorry, I had to reload. Still waiting.
Stop that. You're like a dog
Desperately,
sometimes.
Lyra Silverleaf looks at Sane and sees him flicker, with the words buffering underneath his face.
Window symbol
All
going.
right, so this guy's here, right?
Yeah.
So I
What's that?
will move up.
Kind of funny when they die, the big skull thing overlaps their skull mask almost perfectly.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
this guy over here, I don't know if you can see him, but
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see that guy.
he's on the stream, but it's, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it in the stream. All right, so yeah, I'll run up to that guy. I'll cast True Strike, and then bonk him with a Great Club.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
20 to hit.
The visual on that's pretty funny. You actually did bonk that token.
He did. It was awesome. It was awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, you hit.
All right, and we'll do some damage. Ooh, max damage. 11 force damage, I think, because of the True Strike.
Yeah.
No, radiant damage.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He
If that matters to a skull-looking like dude.
yeah, well, like when you get close to him, you feel like this just surge of anger, like to the point of wanting to like to violence, you know, just wanting to kill, you know. Like if you ever heard of Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant, but you know, you just want to kill.
Go home, Crypt Keeper.
You keep doing this, I'm gonna boot you.
Yeah, so I'm done.
So how do you want to do this though?
Oh,
Oh, wow.
okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna like, run up, take a big step over the bench there, like this, like whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't want to fall there,
Yeah.
Step over the bench and then just baseball bat swing this dude's head out over top of those tents. I imagine. I don't know. You can tell me how far it lands, but I imagine it's landing over here somewhere.
Yeah. And just like this trail of blood, like comic book style.
It's like the Kick-Ass movie where just blood is just shooting out of the top of the head.
Like a Tarantino movie. It's just like over the top.
Over the top violence.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess if he is dead, then I will. I guess I will move. I guess back over here to kind of stay in front of our coward guy. I don't remember his name. Oh yeah, Kale. In front of Kale and just keep an eye on him. Compared to where he's, where Lyra is, just checking in.
Right. Well, many of the people trying to run to safety. And so they all start kind of screaming and running for the wagons and tents.
Nope, you're
I
down.
think they can run this far. Okay.
Make up your mind.
Next to Julius. I think you've got one guy on your witch bolt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's It's my turn, right?
Yeah. So you got all
Yeah,
these people
this
screaming and
guy
running by you,
here.
and
Because then, yeah, let me pull that up. My character sheets. Spells, which ones?
What are you doing?
Yeah, so yeah, my next turn I'm going to use my bonus action to go ahead and just automatically deal 1d12 damage to the target, even though the first attack missed.
all right. I think, did it refresh all your spell slots and everything?
Yes.
Maybe just recast the Witch Bolt from the, or oh, you can click that. Yeah, just hit the target that guy and do the damage. I think should be good.
Yep.
Beautiful. Oh
Whoa,
wow.
max damage.
Dang!
Jeez.
Yeah, so I just like.
Yeah, go for it. What's the kill?
Yeah, so I have my keytar out, and I'm gonna rip off a few keys and just cast Witch Bolt out of the neck of the keytar in his direction.
Oh yeah, that'll that's max damage. Is pretty nice. He gets hit with, what is it, like a lightning?
Yeah. So the
Okay.
Witch Bolt is kind of like just like some lightning bolts just streaking through the air, kind of like Emperor Palpatine's Sith lightning.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I envisioned, because when I look over at Julius, he's got like an evil look on his face, and he's just
Yeah, like,
shocking a guy, and I'm like, "Whoa, Julius, why are you getting so excited, buddy?"
yeah, and there's some blue and silver lightning that kind of like shoots out from it at the guy. Probably stands his hair up on end as it knocks him down, if he has hair.
You'll never know. Well, if you can get there before the smoke stops rising on him, you might be able to smell if there's burnt hair in there or not. But
Cool. Yeah, that's it for that.
all right,
So that was my bonus action too.
nice.
Let's see.
Man, Witch Bolt's such a better spell now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of it, because I can't just go and.
That's a better picture of Julius.
I wish they, yeah. I'm glad they fix a lot of the spells for the wizard and such, but now they can only have the spiritual weapon, not be gimp.
So I guess then, though, based on how it's worded, I would have to recast target somebody else, right?
Isn't it a bonus, or how does that? Does it work like Hunter's Mark?
No,
where
so
Yeah, you'd have to recast it to get a new target.
yeah, so
that sucks.
if I lock on and target somebody else initially, I can go ahead and just force damage on them every consecutive bonus action. So yes, is that allowable to go and do a full cast for my action then?
Well, yeah, because you didn't cast, so yeah, you can cast it again.
All right, so where's everybody that's left?
There's two by Winley, and there's one over in the wagon.
You may have to move to see them.
There's a yeah.
The
There's
one
a guy
next
at the end of
to
the road south of you.
There
and
was a
there's-
scream over here, just to let you know. So you.
Oh, and there's this crazy creeper down south, who is the one with the flail.
which one?
One that's
Oh, the
south
one
of all
next
of
to
us. No, the one basically if you zoom out, he's near the bottom.
Oh, yeah,
Is
Yeah,
my-
near
That's
the
the-
bottom.
yeah.
I don't see anybody near the bottom of the map. Unless you mean.
Yeah,
south-
that's
oh, That's
bottom
am I.
left.
That's
Yeah,
am
bottom
I.
left.
Yeah, he's like,
Yep.
you can't see him through that tree.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move a little bit and measure the distance between us. Yeah, that's within 120 feet. So yeah, I am going to go and cast Scorching Ray. And in that one, I can make it's three separate flaming streaks of fire, and each of them gets their own roll to attack.
Nice.
So the first two I'm going to throw down at the guy down south of me here.
Move this so I can see what guy. Oh, maybe I still don't see a guy. Oh, there he is. Okay. I'll put my character back there in a minute. I just wanted to see who this was.
So I'm going to split this up. Two at the guy down here,
Okay.
and then coming around the corner of the tree, I'm going to go and shoot the last one at the. Wait, Winley, around you, there's only two bad guys or four?
There's two, because the other two are dead.
Okay. So yeah, so I can see the guy to the north of you, so I'm gonna throw one at him.
He's dead. The one north of me, the one that is directly west of me is alive. The one directly south of me is alive. The other two are dead.
Okay, so I'm gonna go after the one that's west of you then.
You should be able to target them. If you double right click on them.
First one does not hit.
Where'd Romeo go?
You can, if you double right click on them, you should be able to target them. And I guess I would say, like, so it calls out that you make a spell attack for each one. So I would think you can, like, choose who to attack with each roll, right? Like, I don't think you have to call it out right at the beginning of the spell. Like, you could say, like, because I'd say he's, like, concentrating on a target because he rolls an attack for each one. So you can, yeah.
And then
So, like, we could resolve this one, right?
yeah, so the first one's gonna go towards the guy next to Winley.
Okay, and that missed, yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Oh,
Dang.
Yep.
Woo!
Just a little bit off, and suddenly, yeah, I'm feeling, guys. I'm feeling
Testing out
Kitar's
that.
hot right now.
Testing out those new
And
magic skills.
yeah, testing out those my studies have been paying off.
You were inspired by our conversation with Winley, and she awakened her new
Yes.
powers, and now you're awakening your new powers.
Absolutely. And then yeah, gotta strike this guy here.
Yeah, this. Yeah, those.
And yeah, that's my thing.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah, so I'm
Double, 'cause it
probably
was a
gonna
crit
be
as well.
Yeah,
What's
roll
that?
your damage for the first guy.
oh yeah.
And it's critical damage, right? You rolled a 20? Yeah, you
Yep.
rolled a nat 20, yeah.
It's crit.
Yeah, so that's 2d6.
Actually, 46.
So do I roll 4d6 or double the 2d6?
I think it does it automatically. doesn't it?
I think if you hit crit, it should double the dice for you. If you hit critical damage on the menu.
Where on the bottom right?
Well, if you click damage in the chat card,
Oh yeah.
it should. Although you might want to target the bearded dude. Or I can still apply to him. So that's
Yeah.
selected. Oh wow, okay, 18. Yep, that'll do it. Those little robes are up in flames.
The other dude's going to be 6.
6. Okay. He's only charred.
Yeah, the 6 went to the one next to Winley.
Got it. So I applied the
Yeah,
one
the guy
to
all the way down south.
guy all the way down
The guy-
south is immolated, so you
I hope he had cremation on his list.
it's your
Yeah, like I'm probably gonna be when I'm casting this. I'm probably riffing off the high energy section of Freebird.
oh nice.
As you attack the one like next to Winley, you just hear in your mind, because I had still established that psychic whispers connection last session. You just hear in your mind a little bit of a giggle and show off of Winley's voice in your head.
You don't hear anything back from that. But yeah, you just see it. You would have like just a massive streak of basically a meteor just go shooting out in that direction, like a missile at the guy down south. Like,
Yeah, you know how like sometimes you get like a really hot fire and it makes that like whistling sound?
yeah.
So like he starts screaming and at some point his pitch like matches that sound and just like blends into it and dies away.
Nice. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. Good turn. The person next to Winley is like on fire, but she's patting out the fire. But definitely looks like she's got blistered skin and looks real uncomfortable.
I think it was right there. It's right there. Okay.
Lyra calls out from underneath the wagon. Is it safe yet?
No, stay inside. Stay inside. Not yet.
Charles.
All right. Can I see this guy through the front of the wagon over to the right?
Yeah, but he's got cover
Okay.
from the wagon, I think.
All right. And cover adds 2 to the AC?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to step over this way a little bit. And I don't know, my spell slots ended up getting reset. So instead of using a bonus action to just move Hex, I'll just recast it. And that'll even it out. So I am going to cast Hex on him. And then I am going to try to Eldritch Blast.
Whoa.
Ooh, 24 to hit.
I love the graphics. That's pretty fun.
You're right.
That hits.
All right. And then
Just barely.
That's D6 for Hex.
It's really a dragon.
Venom.
Oh, 13
yeah.
force / necrotic damage.
He's toast. What is your Eldritch Blast? It's a big skull, right?
Yeah, it's kind of the purplish black flaming skull. Well, it starts off as like a fireball, and then the skull kind of emerges from the front of it, screaming as it just before it impacts.
But skull on skull action in here. It like tries to headbutt the skull as it comes in, and
you're right.
Out.
And that's my turn.
All right. Doran's like, oh, this best be left to professionals, and like ushers this commoner into the tent.
Dang it.
Kale pushes this commoner out of the way, like just shoves, like grabs their leg and pulls him out from under the wagon, and he frantically claws his way back underneath the wagon here.
What the fuck?
And Winley.
All right. I will use my action to attack this one first that Julius had already injured. So I'm going to use my psionic blade. Which if I do psychic blade action, attack. Boom. I assume a 22 hits.
Yes. Good assumption.
Okay. So, I don't think I get sneak attack on that. So how do I roll damage? So I just, oh, there it is. So damage could be a d6 normal roll. Okay, so 8 more damage to previous damage on that one.
All right. So 16 total. I mean, how do your psionic blades take the?
Okay, so I would have had in my main hand basically another almost short sword size, kind of bluish silvery energy into my hand, which I will basically stab right into their neck, and it disappears like without even making a wound or anything. It just kind of almost gets sucked into their neck as they just drop.
Brutal.
Which I will then kind of almost crick my own neck as I do that with a little bit of a smirk. And my offhand bonus action, I'm going to do the same for the other one who's next to me as well. Do I get sneak attack for scare factor here? I'm going to attack this one. So if I do psychic blade bonus action attack. Normal roll.
You have to say playing a rogue in Eric's game. I feel like there's going to be a point where you're going to be able to basically use sneak attack damage all the time.
Yeah, and then I roll garbage there. So, I go to maybe I got a little cocky, and as I go to swing, I kind of miss, and the blade disappears.
Yeah. That misses.
You got to come over here with the tanking bard. then you'll get sneak attack.
Emo cat?
Yeah. Emo cat. I mean, I love how this has worked out both, like, my one attack round last game, I critted my first time ever using the psionic blades, and I rolled a nat 1 on my offhand attack, and then almost the exact same thing happened this time. That was amazing last game on my first ever use of the psionic blades that I critted. Yeah, that's my turn, so I had my 2 attacks, I'm done.
Alright, well, it might be too far away, but that does leave some room for Zama. But before Zama can go...
I'm gonna get hit. Or attempted to hit.
Yeah. It's called, what did she say? Is... She says, "The dead 3 grant me vengeance!" and stabs at you.
Oh, goody.
She has like this kind of sickle. It's like this a half circle of metal. Kind of looks like a half moon, but stabby. She whiffs. Overeager, overextends herself. misses.
I just smirk at her after we both missed each other.
Just her eyes narrow, and she's just like almost shaking with anger. Who we got next on the list? Sama.
Alright, I'm gonna move.
Can you make it, Sama?
We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna move 30 feet, and I want to drop my sword, or can I put my sword away and pull out my javelin, or would that be an action? As I'm like running, like put away
I
one,
think
pull
if you
out the other.
drop your sword, you can use a free action to pull out the dagger. And
Okay, that's what. Well, javelin. So yeah, so I'm gonna drop as I'm like running. I'm gonna drop my sword, pull out my javelin, and throw my javelin to as a target, a range attack. As a range attack. So normal. 22 to hit.
that'll hit.
Alright, we're gonna roll some damage. 9.
That does it. So she's glaring at Winley, not even paying attention, getting ready to wind up for her next swing, and this javelin just catches her. I don't know where you were aiming.
Well, I was aiming for like the heart of the chest, so I'll be like aiming for the heart.
All right, yeah, it's a dead-on bullseye right in the chest. She has a quite surprised look on her face before she falls back dead.
So.
And that, I believe, ends our combat.
And I will pick up my sword.
All right.
Talk about efficient.
Yeah. Almost like you guys leveled up mid-fight.
Yeah.
Winley would be looking at curiosity. There are 4 dead cultists literally like perfectly around her, just dead. And she'd be just kind of looking at all of this.
I will come over.
And then would probably stoop and start to see if they have any, like, because she knows, even though she was not present for the last fight that this party partook in, she knew that cult individuals possibly have paper things in their pockets with ritual information. So I'd be looking, like, through their... Like, I mean, obviously I'd look for anything, but I'm not necessarily searching for money. I'm looking for more like, you people are wearing creepy robes. Do you have anything else interesting on you?
All right, so you're going to start searching the 4 that are around you.
Yeah.
Sama, you see Winley starting to go into search. What are you doing?
Well, I'll pick up my sword, clean it, put it away, come over as she's searching, stick my foot on the body and pull out my javelin and take my javelin back. And then look over at Winley as she's searching and just kind of just hover over
I'd
her.
look up at you. I'd look over at you. Excellent aim. Appreciate you didn't miss because, I was kind of close there, but, great job.
Oh, I did miss. I was aiming for his head. And I walk away.
So Julius and Charles, you're right there too. What are you guys doing?
Yeah. I'm going to go down to this guy.
Okay.
At the south.
All right. And where's Charles going?
I'm gonna start searching the bodies as well. I guess I'll head over to this one.
Okay. And Sani?
Sonny's gonna start pulling Kale's leg out from under the fucking wagon and be like, "Bro, what are you doing? The ladies need to hide under there, not you." And I'm gonna like start dragging him out as best I can.
So we'll go. So yeah, Zama, you're able to get your weapons back, and let Winley know that your aim is always true, of course. There was never a doubt that she was in
Any danger.
that she wasn't in danger. So Winley's searching. So you're searching all 4 of those bodies.
Do what I can.
Think what should we get here? I rolled that right. You're not. You don't find any really much of any materials on these folks. You do find some of their pocket money, which I have put into your inventory.
All right.
Oops. And Julius, when you search this guy,
Yeah.
he is burned to a crisp, so don't really find much paperwork on him. You do find some coins though. I will add those to your inventory.
Cool.
There you go. And Charles. Same thing. You don't really find any, I mean, almost like a surprising lack of anything on them. He's got this like cloak on and this skull mask that you take off, and you can see it's just kind of a normal human underneath. And the only thing, there's no like pockets or anything on the robes. They just kind of have like a drawstring tied around their waist that has like a some coins on it, and I'll add those to your inventory.
Okay.
And Sane, so you grab, pull him out from underneath the wagon. He's like, "What? What are you?" I was just trying to help them. They were in a bad spot. There could have been somebody on the other side of the wagon. I was just trying to keep them safe.
Like, I get eye to eye with him, and I'm like, don't feed me that bullshit, man. All right, we gotta look out for these people, right? And he's playing it up because Lyra's there, like.
Yeah. Oh,
And he's just gonna chew him out and be like, man, you gotta hold your weight, man. If you're gonna be rolling with Carnal, right? We don't back down. So.
yeah. So Kale's just let's see. Oh dang, my camera went out. I'm gonna figure that out. He, as you keep kind of yelling at him, his eyes are like going left and right. He's looking at the other people around. He's just trying to like he shoves you at one point. He's like, "No, man! Like I was helping him. You got it all wrong."
Yeah, I guess I'll try to intimidate him to get him to back down, Phil.
Okay.
And just be like, no, man, you got to hold your weight, right? These people are scared, and when you're pulling people out from underneath wagons, it ain't cool.
It's not metal. Uh-oh. Oh. So, Eric's
Plug it
DM
in.
now, taking over.
I am the DM now.
Oh,
Nice.
Did I claim my spot back?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You
Yeah,
put
you get
you
your
pushed
spot back.
Eric back into his player position.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Roll an intimidation check.
Sure.
Yeah. With. Yeah, we'll say with advantage.
Okay. 19.
19. Yeah, that he quickly backs down and like it's like, well, maybe next time I just won't help. As he kind of like storms off, and like the first person he kind of walks by, he just like hits him in the shoulder with his shoulder real heavy, and is like, hey, watch out, and just heads back to heads to one of the wagons, and like just hear him like grumbling inside the. I was just trying to help him out. Last time I tried to help him.
Moody teen much?
Okay. I know the next guy we're voting off the island. The tribe has spoken.
So this is now the new episode of Survivor. It's D&D edition.
As Winley's still absent-mindedly kind of picking through pockets and kind of doing, like not finding anything, she'll kind of poke her head up. I just imagine her still like goblin crouched over, like looting people, but she'll kind of pick her head up. Is anyone injured? Like towards all the people in the like caravan.
Okay, yeah, you see her. Is anybody else?
Um,
So Wendley's asking if anybody's injured. Charles, what are you doing after you're done searching?
I'll probably wander over to Sane.
And Julius.
I'm gonna go over to the other body, which is over here to the left.
Okay. And what's Sane doing? And
As he sees Charles walk up, he's gonna be like, "Did you see that shit?"
I did. Can't believe it.
Like, he pulled one of the ladies out from underneath the wagon. She was just hiding from these like skull dudes, and then he's like shoving them out of the way.
It's despicable.
Yeah, we need to dump that trash as soon as we get to Baldur's Gate. He's not carnal material.
He is not. Least metal.
The least metal.
So, Zama, as you're walking back, you hear them talking about Kale, and you saw him huff off, and you hear Winley asking, like, is anybody injured?
I look around to see if I turn back to Rinley and point towards the one wagon that oh gosh, what's his face? Paul's character came out of. And I point over
Charles.
there, like Charles, where Charles came out, and be like, "You may want to check that wagon over there to see if anyone's injured. I'm checking the other one." So as I'm going back to the villain, or dang it, I have the stupid target thing selected and not the move. I go back to the wagon where the guy is that I killed, the first guy I killed. But I also want to start collecting bodies, put them in a big pile, and burn them. So, but
Okay.
I'm also going to, when I come over here to collect the body, I'm going to inquire to the person that's in there if they need any assistance, medical assistance.
Yeah, you find them uninjured. Are you gonna search the body before, or just grab it to burn it? But
I'll search it before I burn it, just to make sure there's nothing, maybe a letter or something, maybe more information about these cultists. But yeah, I'll search
I'll
it.
add some. You just find some spending money on them.
Okay.
I'll add it to your inventory, and but again, nothing else. They're just kind of a belt with coin pouch, and that's it.
Okay.
And Julius, you find much the same on the other character, or the other skull kind of masked cultists that you find. I'll add, again, just some spending money on them.
Okay.
Winley will wait to go to, like, I will head the direction Zama kind of pointed, but because
Mhm.
Julius kind of walked off by himself, Winley would kind of stand and wait, basically where I'm at, to kind of watch him because he's off by himself. So more of like out of caution of like, I just watched him kind of walk off in case. So she'd wait until he walks back towards the group a little more, and then she'd head over to check the person in the caravan. So
An ogre comes out of the woods and smashes Julius.
and smashes Julius. He is dead now.
With
No, he
vicious
just
mockery.
disappears.
And so, yeah, she'd go over and check of kind of poke her head, like her cheeky fashion she has of doing everything, of just kind of like poking her head up into the wagon. Everything all right in here?
See who's in there? You got there's a little halfling in there, and he's like, doing okay. Not, yeah, I'm not hurt.
Does that seem strange? Insight check. Like, is he acting other than alarmed from combat? It seems like a strange response of, "Oh, no, I'm not hurt," after all the nonsense we just went through.
Give me an insight check.
Because that, what was that? One of the night blades was like in there for a good second around that guy, and he's relatively calm here. Everyone else panicked, and this guy seems fine. Insight is right there. Funnel. Huzzah.
You would recall from your interactions through the last couple of nights that this halfling just always kind of sounds monotonous. Like he just
Okay.
can't. He's never excited. He's never.
Okay.
He's just kind of flat. So.
Okay.
He's depressed.
So it
It's
does not
Winley
seem
now.
unusual for him.
Well,
him.
this is now because Winley's now thinking about how she's hearing voices in her head and all the and her psychic abilities. She's now going, like, she has that like split thought of, shit, like, is this guy possessed? Like, by him? And then never mind. Like, and right, and I'll just start walking towards everybody else. And just
Yeah,
like,
you would have noticed the halfling, like when he was like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm not injured, but like when you came into the wagon, like he was like had his hands inside the cloak of the dead skull mask
no.
guy, was like pulled his hands out and was like, everything's fine, I'm not injured, you know.
Find anything interesting there?
No, I think Charles got it all.
Okay.
And so I will then kind of fall in step / skip over to fall in step with Julius. And
Right.
kind of just, wow, that was quite impressive.
Oh, you saw that?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, it's kind of easy to notice fire flying through the sky when it's dark out like this.
And some nice lightning as well.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
And Winley will kind of glance over because other than our brief non-lethal encounter with the people at the ferryman's house, this is the first time she's seen you guys fight. And so she would kind of, interesting group here. Just kind of smile.
Yeah, quite a band of misfits, if you ask me.
Run into these kind of people often. Looks at Zama just dragging bodies.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
can't
island.
say this in particular is normal, but it seems to be coming up more frequently as of late.
Oh, I'm carrying them like logs.
Do you
I'm
happen to find?
giant. I don't need a drag. I'm just carrying them like logs.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah, just, it's like carrying 4 at a time. Just
yeah.
Just-
I'm assuming you guys aren't talking necessarily in confidence, like you're kind of around the fire, like so, everybody can kind of hear the conversation and jump in if you need to.
find any paper or anything on any of them?
As I walk by with another load of dead bodies, nope. Just keep on walking.
You keep
Yeah,
doing that.
good luck with
work,
that guy.
Selma. You do you. I'll kind of clap after you as you're just walking and carrying bodies.
Yeah, I'm gonna point back to the guy I roasted. Like, yeah, there's nothing left on him.
Probably not. Hmm.
I recommend ignoring your sense of smell when you go over there.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Hmm. Oh well. And
Burnt
Bill
bodies
kind of
never smell
glance. Who
great,
else is?
which is why I'm doing this downwind.
And
I
bring an
imagine
inventory
Zama's
map.
just dumping them on the campfire. So I've just been like moving the bodies. It's like the pile Zama's making and the.
Destroy the evidence, guys.
Any particular
Yeah.
reason to suspect why we were targeted, or were we just prey of circumstance?
I hope the latter, but I fear the former.
What'd you all do? She'll kind of sarcastically look around at the group.
I don't think we figured that one out yet.
The only thing we figured out is that whatever this group is, they want someone from the Companions and someone from the Hell Riders, and they need to go to Baldur's Gate.
Timing on that's impeccable.
Seems like they're probably the same group that jumped us in Elturel, I would guess.
I mean, would we recognize these cloaks and masks as similar to that group?
You hadn't encountered anybody with like the skull cloaks, but the cultists with the black robes and red kind of lining the cloaks, and the guy with the like dirty robes and the skull flail were match the descriptions of those cultists that you guys encountered in the alley in El Turel that were trying to kill Calliope, I think, and Zama.
Should
Yes,
we
we'll
keep
convey
that? Winley will point towards the flail. Should we keep that for any reason to present to anyone?
It's yours if you want it.
I'm not saying I necessarily want it, but if we're heading to Baldur's Gate, depending on who we're reporting to, like, does this flail look... I mean, no one's cast detect magic. I don't know. I don't have detect magic, but is it just like a flail with kind of a skull on it? It doesn't seem any sort of special just by looking at it.
Give me a history check.
Okay.
Hey Phil, while she's doing that check, quick question.
Yeah.
Were the guys with the tokens with the skull faces, were they like people just wearing masks, or were they like actually like undead?
No, they were wearing masks.
They were wearing masks? Okay.
Yeah.
Natural 20, DM.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you know that they're probably practitioners of Miracle, who's one of the dead 3 gods that is specifically kind of fascinated with death, and that these flails are kind of a rite of passage. They're made out of humans that they've killed, and they create these skulls with them. They're not generally they're not like magical, but they're ritualistically made.
Okay. As I'm kind of thinking about that, and I'm Winley being somewhat of the compulsive hoarder, we'll kind of and like maybe using like spare cloth out of saddlebag, will kind of like wrap this flail up and just put it in the saddlebag of her horse, of like, in case we need that later, and just like be putting that away.
Okay. I will put a flail in your inventory here.
She's having almost her first noticeable moment to any of you of kind of being like, if. And then she's like not wanting to touch the skull on the edge, and it's just like, ah.
That repulsive.
If what I'm recalling about what this is true, I mean, I don't want to touch it, you know, just like mime the equivalent of throwing salt over my shoulder and like just be like putting it in the saddle. The Faerun equivalent of throwing salt over my shoulder.
Do you still have that psychic connection between us active still, or is that done?
I do.
So I'm just gonna like think to you, like you just said, it's like, I don't think I would have thought you'd be disgusted by something like a flail.
Here's the thing, and you'll hear like the defensive tone in my psychic response back of, here's the thing. Gods of Death, and you know, like, you know me, I mean, you know what I've told you of me, that I do enjoy for, like, learning about forbidden magics and otherwise, but, like, you know, there's a fine line with Gods of Death and things being made out of real human skulls, and, like, I don't, I'll just kind of stutter and just trail off.
Yeah, so all you hear is, enlighten me on this later, when everyone's cleaned up this mess, because Gods of Death, you have my intrigue.
Okay, later. I'll kind of like use that of like a yes, deflect. Like I'm not.
But it's I will find you later to talk about this.
Yeah, she got that.
As Sane and Charles are talking, like, those masks are pretty metal though. More so than Kale.
Yeah. They really are.
Maybe we should like get some and like hand those out at the show, you know, so then like everybody in the audience is wearing like the masks, you know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe those in the front row can get them.
You know, they remind me of a band back home, you know, in Baldur's Gate. You know, you remember Slipknot? You remember those guys?
Yeah. Yeah, they were pretty metal. Played a couple gigs with them at one point, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Good times, man. Good times.
Yeah.
Good thing we're heading back that way. I mean, that fucking place we just El Terrell, he's like, now he's whispering so Lyra doesn't hear anything. He's like, you know, they're just too uppity. And then we get attacked in the streets all the time? Like, what the hell is that?
Right. Yeah.
Do you think they were targeting the big girl like they did last time? Zama? Were they going after her? Yeah.
She's the only Hell Rider with us. It's gotta be her, right?
Yeah, maybe that's why all this shit's happening.
Guess who's
Yeah.
gonna be voted off the island?
Could have been Calliope, too.
Yeah, she was always like a goody-goody, sticking her nose and everything, you know?
Yeah. Heck, she hung out with the companions quite a bit. I think they thought she was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, was it the cults calling themselves the companions too? I mean...
Yeah. Yeah, they're both called the companions, which is kind of weird.
It doesn't make sense, right? You know? You
No.
think, like, if you're good and you're bad, you don't have the same name? I mean, maybe they're like cousin fuckers or some shit? I don't know.
That could be.
Will's reaction to that, he was like, what? All right,
Imagine
I
finally
can't
putting
remember.
the
Were
full
we
down on the
traveling or were we camping? I think we were camping, right?
Yeah, That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
The evening time.
Yeah.
Evening. We should probably get back to that. It's I guess it's tiring slaughtering cultists. I mean, now it smells because of PBJ. Like, get those bodies out of the camp, PBJ. It stinks.
That was what I was.
I'm not the one carrying them in.
I was not carrying them. I was carrying them downwind, not into the camp, but I was going to.
You didn't have to roast them.
and then make a fire.
Your words weren't doing that.
Did you not see me
Roasting?
club that guy? And I point at like a headless body with blood still shooting out.
Winley will just chime in. Roasting was actually a good call. Good call. Less likely to get resurrected. Good call. Good on you, Hell Rider. And I'll clap again.
What was your body count in this, Sonic?
I'm just a dude with a club.
Dude.
A guy runs up on me, he gets bonked.
The title of the next album: A Dude with a Club. I'm just a dude with a club.
I'm just
Sonny jots that down.
As if Julius actually asks him, like, what was your body count? Winley replaying the battle in her mind will be like counting on her fingers, like, and she'll figure out how many everyone killed, and we'll kind of.
Okay. Well, so it sounds like you guys are winding down for the night. Sama piles up the bodies to burn them. Unfortunately, it's in the fire in the middle of the camp.
Oh.
Kind of smells terrible, but
Yeah.
you know, she gets the job done. Yeah. What
What is she
have,
doing?
what's that?
If I see her like dragging bodies to the fire, I'm interrupting that. I'm like, get that shit out of here. This is where we eat.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been doing there. But
All right.
Whatever.
Okay. Off in the outskirts, we'll say then.
Yeah. Downwind.
But you're burning them, right?
Yes, I was
Down.
going downwind.
All right, make a survival check, Ashley. Let's see if you know what downwind is. I imagine it's gonna be upwind and it's just gonna come right into our camp. We're all gonna be like, oh, as we're trying to sleep. Oh, so close to a nat one.
I know, I
It was
saw
so
that.
close.
I don't want, unfortunately.
No, she's good.
Yeah.
She knows how to burn her body. She's a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I had my. What was your all's watch order?
Boy, I don't remember where I was at. I know it was.
I was last.
I think it was somewhere in the beginning. I think it was like the second, but I can be first too. It doesn't matter.
What is it now?
I'll go first.
So Winley last.
Yeah, Winley will go last.
Zama's
I'll take
first,
second, I guess.
I'll
Charles
take
second.
first watch.
Oh, okay. So Julius is first, Charles second, Zama third, Winley last.
Sure.
Is that okay?
That's
Sure.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me perception checks.
Oof.
Oh no.
I am reading the entire night.
That doesn't do much better.
Nope. Mine's not any better at all.
Man.
Well, we're going up by fives anyways.
Like how?
5, 5,
Good
10,
Lord!
15.
15!
I'm the first. I'm Charles
Oh, mine's not
and Julius added together, and Winnell's just all three of us added together. It's just ridiculous.
Is Winley's just staring like. So I'm right after you, right, Zama? And if you wake me up or otherwise, I would just be staring at you with my silver cat eyes, like with that weird knowing glance of did you won't say anything, but the giving you kind of look of you fully awake there kind of look on my face.
I just glare at Winnell, and I just
Winley.
Yeah, Winley, and I just kind of just glare, and then I leave. just a person, a few words. Yep.
Hey. Well, the night passes uneventfully. You wake up in the morning and start packing up to go and get on the road. And as you're kind of leaving and getting out of the little grove area, you guys notice Kale isn't in the camp anymore.
Huh.
I
Looks
checked
like
to
he
see
might
if
have ran
anything's
off.
missing. Like food.
Yeah, there's I'm not sure where you guys were keeping all the food on one cart, right? The wagon.
I had it split between two, but yeah, for the most part, I had mine
Yeah.
separate than the
Yeah.
groups, but yeah.
Yeah, there's 5 rations missing.
Hmm.
So, who didn't notice Kale stealing food and then leaving?
I don't know. I was keeping an eye out for things.
Did you fall
Next
asleep
two
again,
of us.
Charles?
I don't think so.
Anyone who's an elf that goes into a trance, they would have been up the last 4 hours, I would assume.
Yeah, none of you guys remember seeing anything on your watches.
I mean, it happened probably on Julius or Charles's watch. but-
Yeah, seems like it.
Most likely.
Probably.
So, do we have to worry about him being a traitor or just a coward? I don't know this gentleman, or if we're even calling him that.
Always choose the latter, or the traitor aspect. Don't trust people.
I don't know, Doran. You hung out with him. Tell us a little bit about him. He was being awful shifty last night.
I don't know him that well. We just around music. We just jammed. That's all.
Well, can't do anything
No,
about
he said.
What about you, Lyra? Do you have anything to add? Winley will look at her.
Oh, here.
Mhm.
I mean, he said he was being followed, but I guess I don't know. I when we were trying to get out of the arena, I thought he was trying to help get out the door, but he did look a little panicked.
Why would they be following him? Is he connected to Hell Riders or the Order of the Companion?
Would I know of him through the Hell Riders?
No.
So.
Calliope knew things, Winley knows nothing, which is why Winley's asking.
Nothing from the bell
Lyra she's like, well, he was part of the Order of the Companion, I think, but I don't know. He wasn't really clear on why he left or why he wasn't part of it anymore.
All the companions are cultists. He whispers to Charles.
Start
Can we
with
try
a
and find
wonder.
any? Can we try and find like a trail on that? Like, did Sonny figure out? Hey, Sonny, do you know where he stole food from?
I mean, it looks like this wagon right here has been gone through. I mean, things are strewn about. You know, looks like they did it in a hurry.
I'm gonna look around the wagon, see if there's indication of which direction he went.
I would like to get in on that investigation check as well, of looking
Yep.
for any sort of trace
That
of where
was-
he's going.
Well, my question first, before I do that. For anyone who's searching to see if they can find footprints to see which direction he went, will that stop us from being able to roll for hunting for additional food and water?
No, I mean, if you guys, so it'll be a survival check to try to see if you can find his trail.
Okay.
If you want to follow his trail while you're traveling, then that will be a choice of you can either be foraging or trying to
Okay.
track
All right. Cool.
him.
So I wanted to ask that before I did any additional rolling
Yeah.
there, but I was also wanting to do that as well to see if I can find the trail.
Sure.
So that's a survival check to try and find
Survival.
something.
Yeah.
Shit, I know. nothing.
If you want to determine something else, maybe there's an investigation, but for tracking like footprints, that kind of thing, it's
I know nothing.
survival.
I'm too angry about it. I can't track.
Oof. Right.
Also more threes.
So between Winley and Julius, you guys are kind of like, Julius is like, I think I found the track, and Winley's like, that's actually a squirrel, but this looks a little closer. And you're like, oh, right, because he's a what is he?
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn. So his like footprints are a little like, it's like, oh yeah, right, he's a Dragonborn. His footprints are a little different.
Makes sense.
But you're able to kind of discern the direction he went off, which seems to be, you kind of lose it a little bit in the road, but it looks like he's headed to the road, so you could probably and like forward the way you guys were going towards Baldur's Gate.
So we may meet
That was
up with
basically
him.
all Winley was really then looking for. Is like, is he heading forward or is he heading back? Is almost what she was just kind of look. So she kind of like, he's going the same way we're going, kind of, and back to everybody else. But she would relay if asked that, like, that he seems to just, or actually no, she's cheeky. He seems to be a little over-eager to get there first for some reason, but it appears he's going the same direction we are.
Well, if nothing else, it's one less mouth to feed. He would have cost us more than 5 rations than the trail.
Let's see. If we've already gone through 3 days. Bye, baby. We've already gone through 3 days worth of, and we have a total of 8 days, roughly speaking. He took what his share would be. We're neither for it or less of it. So, which, speaking of rations, that's the next thing I want to do is hunt for some rations. Let's see if I can actually.
Right, he's getting on the road.
Yeah, get on the road, hunt for some rations.
So,
Mhm.
Thumb's doing rations. What else? What's Julius doing?
I suck get one.
Look
Roll.
for food.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
So roll give me a survival check. And Charles.
I'll probably continue driving the carriage.
Okay. And I guess give me a perception check. And what's Sane doing?
Looking for food.
You know, I think we should retire Charles on any perception church for the night. Have him pick up back. tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably good.
Like
I don't know if I caught you, Eric, on what Sane was
Oh,
doing.
food. Searching for food.
Food. Okay.
That's what I've been doing
And
most days.
Winley?
So Winley had taken one of the riding horses, and so in my mind, especially after the events of last night, she would actually be fully mounted, and she'd occasionally kind of urge the horse a little bit forward. I think she'd kind of drift, like on this caravan, a little bit kind of forward, backward, just kind of being alert. She'd maybe debate go to look for food, but she'd see other people are doing it. She'd be just on kind of high alert mode, but being kind of subtle about it, but mounted, so she's up higher vantage point, but she'd be kind of looking around at all times.
Okay, just keeping an eye out for safety.
Yep.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Ooh, there, horses.
Ooh, 25.
How many horses do we have again?
Oh, you guys
Many
tell
horses?
me at this point.
Yeah, I'm not
I was like,
sure.
I know I was like, I took one of the riding horses. I know that. We had
5, 6,
four
I took
draft
one of the
horses?
draft horses
6.
for the
So-
carriage.
Okay. So 6.
Julius, roll 2d6
Alright, I have
and
a small herd with me, so so 8. Okay.
and Zama roll 2d6.
2d6.
Oh. Phil, did I need to roll survival?
Yeah, and you gotta do survival, Sonny. I don't see that.
There you go.
Okay.
So 8.
Right, so Julius finds 3 pounds of food and 4 pounds of water. Zama finds 3 pounds of food and 6 gallons of water. Oh,
6 pounds of food and okay, so
can you guys hear me still?
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we can hear you.
Weird.
So how much food did we find in total? Because I had 6 pounds.
Roll 2d6, Eric.
Sure. Five.
Okay, so in total, you guys find 10 pounds of food and 11 gallons of water.
Okay. I still have the barrels of water as well, so that's just extra for us that we don't have to worry about. How many people do we have that we need to feed?
You have, well, one less person now. Get rid of Kale.
I mean, you're getting rid of them for us, Phil, so you're doing our job.
We
don't have to vote them off the island.
including you guys, you have 23.
Okay.
What was that, Eric? You got real quiet.
I said you're doing our job for us. We don't have to vote them off the island.
I already fed
Yeah.
myself with my own ration, so that's 22. 2, 3, 4, 5.
So minus the 10 that you gathered is 12. 12 left
12 left. Okay.
that you need to.
Feed 4.
Mhm.
Well, I thought we were all using our own personal rations, so we're just using these extra
Oh, if you're all
rations.
using your own personal rations,
For
then
ourselves. But
Yeah.
the extra rations is for
and
the
only 7.
So 7?
7, yeah.
Okay, so we have 11 left of the ration that we start out with now. We have 11 left. I do have a fishing net.
Julius,
but
I feed you.
What's that?
I was
Julius,
like, I continued.
I
I
feed
continued
you.
to. So I was like, because you don't have rations, so I was like, I'm taking 2 off of
Yep.
mine because I've been sharing. So maybe at some point when we're eating, I would have like come over and kind of like tossed you a ration, and I would have filled you in with the information gobbledygook on the flail from the previous night.
Being from the death god and all that.
Yeah. And that these were earned through like a ritual of some kind and ritual sacrifice and blah, blah. Information my nat 20 gave me, I gave you. So like you are filled in.
So the skull itself, or the specific flail you earned through sacrifice.
Is it both, DM? That like the skull came from a sacrifice that they ritualistically did through like a rite of passage? Is that what you had said?
Usually, like they like to catch people and do experiments around death, and so
Okay.
usually they're like ritualistically killing someone and then
Okay.
turning their skull into a flail.
Okay. Yeah. So I would. Also, before I forget, DM, did I get anything off my 25 perception check while on my horse?
Yeah, so so I don't know if you would have alerted the group to it, but as you're traveling along, you would have noticed a group of like people, like they're kind of in dirty clothes, but they're all on the ground, not moving. You can see pools of blood, like they've been ambushed and killed on the road.
Directionality of the bodies and otherwise, does it seem, is kind of put in perspective of like where we were the night before, does it seem like they were attacked by possibly the same people who came and attacked us, or are these completely different directions?
I mean, you're not sure which way the group that attacked you came from.
Okay.
They just kind of showed up at your camp, so you're.
Would there be any distinguishing marks, like left pieces, maybe weapons or anything that we would have seen? I guess. Maybe I'm trying to help you out there. See if
I
there's.
guess would Winley. Well, Winley's the one who sees it. Would you like want to stop the group or like check it out or just kind of?
How many dead bodies?
There's probably like 20 or so.
Yeah, no, we're not ignoring that. Yes, I'm like,
Cool,
woo!
15 dead bodies,
Like,
but 20 dead bodies.
Yeah.
That's the limit.
All right. This is while we're okay, just so that I'm understanding like order of where everyone is, because people were foraging. Do I notice this when like the people who are foraging are back like with the caravan and we're kind of traveling on the road? So is everyone with me at this point?
Yeah, everyone's with you.
Okay. Mama, where are you? Are you riding in a carriage or otherwise?
I'm riding a riding horse.
Or are you walking?
I'm also on a riding horse, and I have various peasants trying to drive the rest of the wagons. I feel like we're going
Okay.
out west,
I would.
mining for gold.
I would not in a rush because I'm not causing a panic, but I'd kind of get my horse and like urge my horse to kind of ride over to Zama. And I would kind of ride up alongside you. And I think we might want to break for camp for a few minutes, and I'll kind of dart my eyes in the direction I was looking to draw your attention to what I saw.
So I turn to look at her as she's talking, and I'm seeing her like move her eyes and just kind of like, I don't know if it's a twitch or not, for a little while there, until she starts going like, and I'm just like, I see. Who's leading this caravan? Because I wasn't sure. I didn't think I was or not. I just knew I was on a riding horse. So I guess I don't. Do I know the way to Boulder's Gate? I guess is the other question. Do I know the way to Boulder's Gate?
You have map.
You did buy a map.
That's true.
You have the map.
I guess. Yeah. So I looking her direction. I assume I see the 20 or whatever. I see a bunch of dead bodies. I don't know how many. I'm not counting. But I assume I see the dead bodies. Is it something I can see where I'm at? With my giant eyes. Okay. I just kind of like curse and giant and under my breath. And I go, and I just like, whoa, and I'm just like, oh gosh, where's Julia? Oh, they're in a carriage. So
yeah. I would, as you're kind of woeing, I would then urge to turn my horse. I'd go get the others, but I'd kind of like go around and head that way.
Yeah, so I turn to my caravan behind me, and I'll look at you before you leave and just be like, get everyone just to stay still for a second. I'm gonna go check this out, and I ride off to check out what's going on and check the bodies and check the trails and whatnot and see if it's something that, because I don't want to stop. If there's a massacre here, I don't want to stop with a whole bunch of people and make camp here. I'd rather be far, far away from this.
Yeah.
But we should check it out just in case it is posed some type of threat, because I want to know why they died.
So as I'm kind of riding, again, not super galloping, but kind of trotting my horse down the line, I'd be quick break, and I'd keep my tone very level, but I would then find the carriage with, are all three of you in the carriage? Is Julius in the carriage with the other two?
More than likely.
Okay, so easy enough, you're all in the same place. So I would then ride over, and I'd kind of ride up alongside, and if I just mentally pictured, because you're in like a nice carriage, so I picture there's like the window kind of thing, and I just kind of like rap on the window kind of thing of the carriage, just kind of as I'm still mounted, and we might want to have a little look-see at some things over yonder. Don't want to cause a panic, though.
What kind of stuff?
Oh.
You know,
Is anyone in the carriage with us?
You know what Zama was doing last night with the. Yeah, no, someone else did. You know what? But easier to show.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna guide the carriage kind of. Are there any like small trees or something that I could like tie the horse to so it doesn't wander off the carriage?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could find something to tie the horse off to, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just navigate the carriage to kind of secure the horse and head off with Winley.
We'll get
Okay.
there.
I
We'll
feel like
get there
we're
to remember your
forging in
character's
the
name.
world
We'll
of
get
Kingdom Death Monster.
Yeah, right.
We'll get there.
Sorry,
Like,
I
it's
couldn't hear
easier
you.
to Calliope, and we're all forgetting your name.
It's hard to get in.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
I just said, Phil, it feels like we're foraging in the world of Kingdom Death Monsters. We're just like looking for food, and then like, oh, there's a pile of dead bodies there. Oh.
Yep.
there's just a lantern sitting on top of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of skulls up the crowd. We're like,
They're all naked and like weirdly proportioned.
we're not in Kansas anymore, apparently.
So, if the four of them are like, do Julius and Sane go too?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
I don't like, I'm not trying to hide this fact from all of you. I would remain mounted, but I have like for security purposes. So I would kind of have my horse walking alongside you, but I'd keep kind of looking back at the caravan. So I'd stay mounted in case one of us needs to absolutely look the opposite way. So I would ride alongside you guys to come inspect.
Okay.
We'll dismount as needed, but I will stay mounted for now.
All right, so you're on a horse. Everybody else, I'm assuming, is kind of walking in. Unless is there anyone else who's kind of?
I was on a horse. I rode on ahead to check it out first, and because I just rode on ahead to told the wagons to stop, and I.
So you guys come into this. You know, it's a spot where if you were traveling along kind of this makeshift road, as you recall from going from El Terrell to Boulder's Gate, there's a, this is a path that's used by merchants, but also by like crews that of teams of animals that pull the boats upstream. So it's pretty close to the water, but at times there's kind of opening out to it's largely grasslands around here. So you see a spot where like the hill goes up and then lets down into a little clearing that is a nice spot for kind of setting up camp. If you were, which is what caught Winley's eye originally. It was like, oh, here's maybe a good spot to set camp if we were at that point. But as she kind of glanced over, she saw all these bodies. So you guys are kind of walking into this clearing. It's weirdly like there's, I guess if everybody wants to give me perception checks.
That's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, not bad actually this time around.
Sweet.
I do better when it deals with death, apparently.
Julius is like, all right, 14 hit
depend on
points. Yeah.
Oh,
Julius is like, 14 hit points, watching every door and corner.
oh gosh. The last 3 rolls. Holy.
Yikes.
2 ones
So,
and a 2.
Well, Charles is just us.
You walk in and this stench hits your nose first of death. There's flies and crows. More flies than crows, but kind of picking at these bodies. And so it's just like this quiet and with a little bit of buzzing and a little fluttering of a crow every once in a while, and you're all kind of like silent and just maybe pulling some cloths up over your face because of the smell. And then you just hear this squelching as Zama's horse steps on one of the bodies. She's like looking around, she's trying to like look real close, but just not paying attention where her horse is going. And there's just kind of all just out of the blue, there's just this buzz of and squelch. Yeah, so the scene is like mostly you don't see a lot of gear, you don't see it's just people laying on the ground. There's some logs that are piled up in the middle that are charred, and some people have big slashes and openings in their clothing. But mostly looks like there's not. If there's bags next to some of the people, they're like broken open, and there's nothing kind of in or around them.
So do these wounds look like they were made by weapons? No seemingly magic. This just looks like typical weaponry causing slashes. No burn, char, like spell marks.
Let's see. Look at your. Yeah, you don't see. It mostly looks like slashing, or like there are some people's that have like big kind of like crushed parts of their bodies, either like their heads, shoulders, or part of their body just seems like kind of crumpled in.
Okay.
And they don't have any necessarily like slashes on those folks. But you don't see any like burns. Most of the people appear to have some kind of physical wound. On top of like, I mean, there's some of them that are a little picked to pieces too. So,
And the bodies aren't arranged in any sort of ritualistic manner. They just are kind of haphazardly all over.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, who's Julius? You would notice being kind of on foot, and you notice on the ground just a lot of like hoof prints and kind of footprints like coming in from not the like entrance to the camp, but from like the other side of the camp, and then going back out in that direction, like hoof prints and boots and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I see that. Hmm. Guys, looks like they came from the trees.
Came from trees?
I'm gonna go ahead and point out came from the direction of the trees.
Do you think that's where these people came from too, or just the ones who killed them?
I think that these guys may have been traveling the road just as we are now.
It's possible.
How recent do these bodies look to have been?
How right
Piled
do they
here.
smell?
As
All right, did they?
yeah, like can we kind of assume how long they've been killed?
Give me a medicine check.
Hi, Quinn. It's okay. I'll move that stuff so you can get up here.
Right.
Move that.
You're not really sure how long it takes for a body to start smelling.
Quinn.
Not my area of study.
No.
Yeah, can we perhaps there are how dense is the trees and other stuff around on the other side?
Not very dense. It's because it kind of lets out into grassland, so it's more like a copse of trees there.
Okay. Does it look like maybe a piece of cloth or something got caught on any of these branches on their way in and out?
Give me a perception check. Well, you had a pretty good perception check. I'll let that ride. Yeah, I guess you would find, you'd probably find some things dropped and, like, maybe discarded, like ink bottles or, clothing kind of thrown. Like there's like a trail as you go into the woods there. Almost like someone was just throwing stuff as they were going.
Nothing that really signifies who did this, just signs that there were people.
Yeah. Yep. You give me, let's see.
So Phil, in context, how long have we been traveling for the day?
It's like almost 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So you've been traveling for like 6 hours or so.
Okay, so we can keep going if we want.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say, hey guys, I mean, it looks like some bad shit happened here. We might want to keep moving and not go into the woods.
Great.
I agree.
That's
We should not linger.
Part of me wants
Perhaps
to
we
go
should
check
burn
it
the
out.
bodies.
oh, these
Charles,
guys,
remember
whoever
that
they are.
play? It was like themed horror or something. You know, the person that always walks away and goes into the woods, they always die first in those shows. You know what I mean?
Also, we have too
Yeah.
many innocent lives with the wagons that we would be responsible for. If it was just us as a party, then I would be more apt to go into the woods as well, but we got too many people with us that needs to get to Boulder Gate.
And I don't think anyone there is going to sign up for us going after a group that's also on horseback.
Should we burn the bodies?
That would alert them
No,
here.
I think we should leave them.
Guys are
We don't want
Pyro.
to send signals.
Yeah.
Burn the bodies!
When they rise again, don't blame me. And I'll kind of urge my horse to start walking slowly back towards the caravan.
Hopefully, if they
No,
rise
I agree
again,
with-
we won't be here.
I would suggest that we pick
Well,
up
if
the
they
pace
rise
as
again,
well.
if we burn them, we might be the ones being risen again later.
That's too much time to take here when this was clearly an ambush. That's too much time to take here. So.
All right, off we go. Winley just drops it and immediately
Yeah.
starts walking away on her horse.
I would encourage that maybe we should pick up the pace to get as quickly and as far away from here as we can. And maybe from here on out we should have 2 people on a watch instead of just 1.
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Well, we can do that tomorrow. We've already done our stuff for today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we still can do 2 people on a watch. Or two
Once we can.
2 characters on a watch.
Do you want to watch?
Yeah, I think we should do 2, honestly. But
Yeah.
I don't have
We have
trance.
2 elves. You only need 4 hours of sleep. So
I say we split up the elves just for exhaustion reasons.
Put up
Do you do what with the elves?
Split them up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, have 1 elf and
So you're saying, like,
well, yeah, because you only need 4 hours of sleep, right? Because
Yeah.
you trans.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, because if the night, our long rest is 8 hours, if one of you did like the first half, and then the other did the other half, and then the 3 of
Right.
us, aren't elves, were doubling up with you guys, then it would.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the idea. Julius, are you
Okay,
an
so-
elf?
I am. Yes.
Okay. So
picture Salmon just be like, are you an elf?
no, I'm not.
they're actually,
The pointed ears are just for decoration.
No. Yeah. It's cosmetic surgery,
Yeah.
mind you.
So
Julius's response is just, how dare you? Just walks away.
He's kind of scoffs at you, and it's like, oh,
I'm just trying to remember who's what, who's elves and who's not elves.
Yeah.
So
Because Sane and Julius are elves, you're a Goliath. You don't have dark vision, which can be a little goofy. We have the tiefling, then I'm an Aasimar, so like I got
So-
dark vision.
So if Julius is doing the first half and Sani doing the second half, Eric, people have
Sure.
volunteered you, but I haven't heard if Sani's.
It's fine. I don't mind.
So then who's, because you guys can't cover all
no.
8 with 2, right?
Well, the 2 elves will cover all 8 technically, but the rest of us that don't have trance
Yeah.
or no, I think we're 1 short. 2,
Yeah.
4, 6. Yeah, we're 1 person short.
Yeah, there's gonna be 1 watch that is only 1 person. The rest will have 2.
Yeah.
All right, which watch do you want to only have one person?
Probably the very last one, I think, because that's just before everyone gets up, kind of deal. So I think the very last one might be ideal.
Okay, so then we just do like Charles and Julius to start, then Zama and Julius,
Mm-hmm.
Winley and Sane, just Sane.
Lyra
You
and
wanna take
Sane.
Oh, there you
Lyra.
go, Lyra. You can use Lyra.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
might have to roll that with disadvantage.
Give that inspiration.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Now,
Yeah, well,
DM, I don't
everybody
love it so
roll
much that you
perception.
actually do, but I love it.
And Julius and Sane roll it twice.
Sure.
Perception. Normal. Well, it's about as good as that's. Oh, wait.
Okay. Night passes without issue. And you already marked off the rations for this
I
day,
did.
right?
I did.
I did as well.
Yes.
Let me pull up all my rations for the horses, my rations for the people, my own rations. So then that way I can be ready to subtract as needed.
Okay. All right, so you guys are a little over halfway to Baldur's Gate. Assuming you're still traveling at normal speed.
Yes.
Do we want to be traveling at normal speed, or do we want to pick up the pace, being that massacre that happened?
When we pick up the pace, does that give us, what was it, disadvantage on like perception or survival? I'm trying to remember.
Disadvantage on perception or survival checks. And you already, in normal speed, you already have disadvantage on stealth. So you travel 6 more miles a day. So you'd travel 30 miles instead of 24.
Our rations are also
And
getting
you would,
lower, so we have roughly about
So
12
in
people.
theory, would going at a faster pace moving forward shave a day off? Is that the math I'm calculating here? It would shave a day if we were moving faster.
Yep. But it would be more difficult to find food.
Forage and stuff.
And
Yep.
we're at 11 food right now, and we have 12 people to feed. All right, is that correct? We have 12 people outside the player characters.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you have, if you take off your 5, you have, well, no, you have more than that
6.
to feed. You have
6.
16 plus Doran and Lyra, so you have 18 people to feed besides yourselves.
18. Okay. So we are currently short.
Mm-hmm.
What is the rules for eating half
Yeah, make sure you
rations?
guys do your, I can have you guys do it. For half rations, so the
I remember having to do that once. I don't remember what the rule was.
Hold, please. Do, 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 do.
Romeo.
Do. Origin rations. Okay, so malnutrition. For a medium character, you have to eat 1 a day, so If you consume less than half, you must food for a day. You must succeed on a. Oh, you can go. Seems less than half.
Yeah, so that sounds like I could eat half and not be penalized if it says less than half. That's like eating a quarter.
So if you eat at least half,
Mm-hmm.
you can make a DC 10 Constitution save against getting exhaustion at the end of the day. If you eat less than half, you will get exhaustion at the end of the day.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
Well, do we have a
exhaustion-
situation, Phil, where we're not getting enough food for the NPCs?
We're shy on the wagon currently. There's 11, and we have about what did you say, Phil? 16, 18 people to feed
18 people.
18.
outside of
18
us. 6.
people.
Yeah, but I thought we're eating our own rations, Ashley.
We
You only
are.
need to worry about the
That's
NPCs.
right. That's
Yeah,
outside
we
of
are.
us.
There's 18.
That's not including us.
Yeah.
There's 18 in total, and then there's us 6. So 6 plus the 18
Then the
is
5
what
of
we have.
us.
All right, it's time for a tribal vote. Kick somebody off the island.
So if you get a level of exhaustion, that's a -1 to your skill checks, I believe. Once you get to exhaustion level 6, you die. So you could not eat for 5 days and still probably be okay as long as you had food on that 6th day. From a rules perspective.
How many days do we have left to get there, Phil? Do we think?
You got about 5 days. 4 or 5 days. Yeah, if you go fast, you can get there in 4. Oh, maybe. Do the math.
I pull out the map as we are convening and looking at and trying to cover what we need. I do have a fishing net, Phil. So if we're along the river, we could fish.
Yeah, looking at the map, you would know you've got about 4 days to get there. If you went fast, you can get there in 3.
So what is everyone's vote? My vote is that we speed up to get there as quickly as possible, even though we might. That's my vote.
And if we go fast, we just have a worse check to find food.
Yeah.
It's a disadvantage.
Okay.
Because we already have disadvantage on stealth. So, like, if people were looking for us, we already were not great at normal speed. So, yeah, we just forage as well.
Yeah, and then if the people with you eat half rations, then they would just they do Constitution saves for exhaustion.
I think that might be what we should do for. I think that's probably what we should do is do half rations to try to at least get us an extra day.
I would agree.
Okay. So
Yeah,
So
I'm
the-
good with that.
fast speed and half rations, what I'm hearing,
Yeah.
or
And so we have to con save DC 10.
At the end of the night, at the end of the day.
at the end of the
Our
day. Julius
wizard,
just dies. That's,
I hear our wizard
The
there.
wizard's dead.
yeah.
Good thing you're in the carriage.
Constitution's not my strong suit, guys.
Can somebody
True,
just
good
stab
thing.
Julius to death and then gentle repose him, and then you guys will bring him back? And then
Yeah,
He
right.
has healing potions in his bag. I made sure of it.
I do.
can you eat
Weird.
healing potions?
It's her feet. Winley's just trying to stuff potions down his throat. Eat this instead.
Eh,
You don't need sustenance. Just consume healing potions, right?
Okay, well,
This is a secret nutritional hack the food industry doesn't want you to know.
Right. So I just subtracted 1 ration off of mine because I split with Julius because I've been subtracting 2 every day. So I just subtracted 1 for Julius and I.
I wish there was
Is
a
that
way
like
to say half rations, but there's not really a good way on this for half rations.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll just have to remember to take
put in
1
0.5?
off tomorrow.
Oh, you can type in 0.5.
Can I?
Like the plus minus doesn't, but you can type in a fraction. It looks like.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, then that's what we'll do. We'll do 2. No, it won't. Won't let me.
Huh? Okay.
Nope.
Weird. Let me put a half a dagger in.
But it won't do that for rations for me. So I'll just have to subtract 1 tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Well, weird.
Can't round it up.
I wonder if it's because it's in the force.
Well, that sucks.
Anyway.
4 for foraging for myself with disadvantage.
Phil, I'm gonna eat a whole ration, and I'm gonna give Lyra a whole ration.
Okay.
I'm not doing what these crazies are doing.
Yeah. I'm eating a whole one as well.
Okay.
Wow.
Says the person stealing all the monies.
It wasn't that much monies.
You're never gonna live it down, Anna. That's what you
You're never gonna live down that you wanted to ritually sacrifice my character because it would be funny.
But I didn't.
You wanted to.
It's more of a joke, but anyways, does anyone else forage for anything? I guess I got a 4.
Yeah. So we're traveling fast today. What are you guys doing for I guess roll survival if you're rolling forage, otherwise perception.
Perception.
And the
it's
perception's with,
disadvantage.
or it's all with disadvantage. So.
Okay.
Sweet. I don't know who rolled that, but awesome.
Nice. Roll 2d6, Sonny.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Disadvantage.
Genuinely.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Dang.
Perceptive rogue.
Phil, I got a 24 on hiding those food.
You got a what?
24 on my stealth to hide that food.
Hide that food. That 1 pound of food you found.
7. Yes, you rolled a 25, and who sees you do it?
It's well, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure.
Roll 2d6.
Yeah, but it's because you roll 1 for food and 1 for water.
Oh. You fucker.
Sorry.
I would have rolled them separately. How do you know which is which, Phil? It always puts them in order.
Does it?
Yeah, we figured that out. I think last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Oh, I've been like doing. Let me double check.
Let's see. What order did it
No,
put
it
that
doesn't.
in?
Doesn't look like it always does it in order.
No.
Doesn't?
Yeah.
Highest to lowest?
No, it doesn't. It's
3,
like Charles's 3
Yeah.
and 1.
3, 2, 9, 7. Oh, no, yeah, it's highest to lowest. Oh no, 9, 7. So yeah, I don't know. I guess not.
No, but when Eric rolled
Oh,
2d6,
I
it was
do
1 to
apologize.
6.
Add your what? You add your wisdom modifier to that too.
Oh, so
Oh.
So that might be nothing for Sonny, but
yeah, there's nothing for me. So mine's straight roll.
So 2 pounds of food.
sounds okay.
All right.
But
So
you're
don't record that
almond-
food, Ashley.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay.
25 perception from the rogue.
Yeah, not watching me. You're watching the road.
Oh, is that so?
Just like binoculars, like out and just seeing
Yes.
Sane just like looking left and right and putting the food inside his
Winley
cloak.
sees everything.
And he's like, writes it in the log.
What's that in the Even at disadvantage, nat 20, nat 19.
That's crazy.
On the 11th day of Myrtril, in the year of
how much-
1492,
How much food? Since I know
Sane
I'm.
stole a biscuit.
I stole a biscuit.
So we have.
What's that?
Let me see. We have 18 people. We're doing half rations, so 8 is what I would assume we subtract. But is Sonic? I guess. Do I know not to give 1 to Lyra?
Oh, you're feeding Lyra? Is that what's going on, Eric?
Well, I would feed her the other half ration,
Oh, okay.
right? But I can't subtract a half off my sheet.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess what we'll do is,
So yeah, I'm down to
so
3
that
rations.
was another day.
Yeah, I'm down to 3
And here's
rations
what,
left.
30. So you got 2 more days at fast travel. I'm just going to roll checks, a couple of group checks for those. We'll just kind of fast forward, but you guys are basically going to be able to, otherwise we're just going to spend 20 more minutes rolling dice.
Yeah.
So,
You said
yeah.
Khan.
Other than seeing
Well,
Sane
You're not
steal
going to
a
make us do an
biscuit, do I
encounter
not
while
see
they're
anything?
malnourished, Phil?
Well, not on the road.
Do we need to roll our con saves?
Yeah, that's what.
Or
If you guys are doing half rations, then yes, it would be
Sam?
At normal.
2. That was 30.
Okay. Well, I saved mine. Doesn't look like Julius saved.
So you would roll, I think, 3 saves, right?
Julius failed, right?
Yeah, he failed.
Yep.
Exhaustion!
Level 1.
Level 1. Day
What's that?
1.
Yay.
Day 2 now, Julius. Do it.
If
Mark it on your sheet. You got 1 level exhaustion. Or wait, does it go back,
do you
Phil?
mark your
No, it doesn't
exhaustion
go
on?
back to eat full meal, right?
yeah, if he eats if he gets a full meal, it should be good.
They're the little dots under your character portrait.
Got it.
Sorry, I was playing with your character sheet. I don't know if I broke that for you, Julius. Or broke Julius.
I already got it.
Okay.
Oh, you undid it.
I undid it. Yep, sorry.
So how does that work? If he goes how does he unget the exhaustion due to hunger?
I'm going to get out of his sheet now. I think I'm making it worse. Okay, there we go.
I think that.
What does he
All right,
undo
now
it?
works.
Yeah,
It's
because
good
like,
now.
does
It's
he
good now.
have
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's good.
does he have to eat, Phil? Like, how does that work? Because normally exhaustion rolls off every day in the old rules.
Yeah, you have
right?
to eat the full
Long
amount of
rest.
food required for a day, and that'll remove the exhaustion. All of it. You just got to eat a full ration.
How many days do we have left?
2.
2.
Yeah, so everybody's
at this
gotta
master
roll
sheet.
3
Okay, well,
saves.
because I'm just asking because I've been the one feeding Julius, and since like we were half rationing, if I'm giving him a full ration to get rid of the exhaustion, I'm just trying to mentally check myself here. So because I'm about to run out of food out of my personal supply. So if we have 2 more days, I give him a full. Go with it. If we're about to get there, I have 3 rations total left. I will half ration myself both days for 1 ration. I will give Julius full rations on those 2 days. I am out. I no longer have food. So
I make
I will do
my
that.
save set for the
Don't
last day.
starve yourself.
The last day, I'm exhausted.
Well, you rolled a 10. That passes, right?
Oh,
Like it
well
equals.
then-
You have to equal or better.
Yeah. Okay. Well then.
Yeah,
Right.
equal or better. Yeah.
Okay, let me
Wait,
do my.
so you give me full rations the rest
Yeah,
of the time.
your exhaustion's gone. I'm gonna
Oh.
roll my 2 con
Okay.
saves. So I have to do my
Damn,
2
thank you.
additional. Yep. Here's one more con saves.
Anyone who's super
Oh, I take
exhausted.
point of exhaustion.
Winley, I will give you half of my exhaustion, so you can give, and then I'll give the other half to somebody else who fails, or somebody else who needs it.
Okay.
So I will have
Okay.
0 rations at the end of it.
And then I'll do one final check. Normal. Okay, I succeed. So,
Yeah.
all right, I'm out of rations, but I'm not exhausted. We're all good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm out of ration. Oh, I got to subtract for the last how many days for horses here. I did the 1, so 2 more days worth of 16 minus 60. That's what I need to do. Horses.
All right. Well, the commoner group didn't do great. They're all at 3 exhaustion.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
But you guys are the heroes, so that's the important thing.
Well, I would have given one of my half rations to somebody who would have needed it, so that was that. Do you want me to roll for disadvantage for various times? We probably would have rolled for foraging just to see, or no?
Yeah.
No.
It's okay. I'm just gonna hand wave kind of the rest of it.
Okay.
Essentially, what's gonna happen is you guys are gonna arrive with a bunch of starving people.
Okay.
Along the rest of the way, key things that happened that is you would have found Kale dead on the road.
Oh.
So.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Did he have rations on him?
Yes.
Missing
rations.
He died from choking to death on all of the rations he was eating at once.
Oh.
Okay. When we find him
That
dead,
wasn't on
what is
you.
the nature of his death? Is it a natural?
You would find him. You know, it's him by his clothing. His head is missing.
Oh.
Whoa! Okay.
Um.
All right.
Can we search to see if there's any footprints or magical means or like where these
The only thing I've noticed, you would notice like his head was severed extremely cleanly. Like it didn't look like his head was chopped off in a fight. It looked like that happened afterwards. And was done.
Could have been a
very
Vorpal sword, guys.
could
Just saying.
And what?
Vorpal
Could have been a
sword?
Vorpal sword. It's a Vorpal sword.
That's for my DMs out there.
would this be something that I would know
Old
as
school.
a Hell Rider that this is anything demonic or demonic or whatever? Would I know about this kind of being a Hell Rider?
Same question with my previous history and religion checks about Merkul.
Yeah, I mean,
Same question, but my previous history as a serial killer.
the big.
I have rolled so many nat 20 history and religion checks this campaign. It's weird.
Nice.
I know all the
Yeah.
religion and history things.
I mean, you do know that the miracle process for severing the head to make the skull is usually done ritualistically and probably would have been more of a clean cut.
Okay.
From a Hellrider perspective, I mean, you do know that he's an ex-order of the Companion from the conversations with Lyra, but the Dead Three are not generally practicers. Don't generally reside in Elturel. They're not. They would be an unusual group there, so you wouldn't necessarily get any insights from being a Hellrider into
Okay.
the death of this person.
But when we get to Baldur's Gate, it'll be something I would want to report to the companions that a next companion of theirs has been murdered. So.
Yeah, well, you would know. So the Order of the Companion
Mhm.
and the Hell Riders are very much Elturel. So, like in this region of the Sword
Okay.
Coast, you've got Baldur's Gate and on the sea, and Baldur's Gate is um very. I mean, it's considered the murder capital of the Sword Coast. Like,
All right. I
it's
send
a
a
place you
telegram.
go for trade. It's yeah,
I'll send a
it's
telegram.
it's a huge trade hub, being on the sea and being on the main path of trade from like the northern cities down through the southern cities, and then also to the east where El Terrell is. And El Terrell is like the city of like, I want to say goody goodies, but it's like you got it's very religious
Law and order.
around the law and order,
Okay.
the order of the companion. Everybody
I
lives
mean,
by the
it's also very
creed.
cultish, Phil. We've seen that, right? Religion has cults.
Yeah, there were some cults you encountered there.
Okay. So, all right.
Um,
So I will send a telegram via Baldur's Gate if there is a possibility when I get there. If there is one. Otherwise, it is what it is. I'll just make a mental note.
okay.
You find a sending stone and you send that sending message.
Okay. Let me.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I wanted to kind of get you guys to this next point. So, I know it would have been fun to kind of like investigate the body, but kind of fast forwarding a little bit. Just gonna find my notes here. Share. Okay, I think I can share this with you guys.
Ooh, pretty.
Did it show up for you
Yeah,
guys?
we got a nice, pretty picture.
Yep.
Twice.
Okay.
Where?
It should be on the forge. There should be a nice, beautiful.
You might have to refresh if it didn't show up.
Does a mind flare
No, I got it.
airship
Oh.
appear over the skies, Phil? Like Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah. I'm going to need you guys to log into a different virtual tabletop called Baldur's Gate 3. So welcome to Baldur's Gate. It's a veritable nest of rats and vipers clinging to the rocky slopes overlooking the Chianthor River.
Home!
By the time you all have arrived, it having taken about 8 days to get here, it's only been a day or two since the water started flowing down the river again. The levels of the Chianthor had started to pick up. It had been down to the riverbed when you left, as the river had been draining into the crater that was left in El Terrell. But a couple days before you arrived in the city, you noticed the river starting to fill up with water again. And by the time you arrive in Baldur's Gate, the river is more or less at about half its original depth and growing. From high up on their perch in the upper city is the local nobles, known as the patriarchs. They gaze down with veiled contempt upon the common rabble of the grimy lower city, which hugs the foggy harbor. The whole of Baldur's Gate reeks of blood, crime, and opportunity. One can easily fathom why pirates and traders are drawn to this place like flies to a carcass. There's been a flood of refugees from El Terrell, you yourselves included, and has gotten worse since news first arrived that El Terrell seems to have fallen. You've heard rumors along the way and continue to hear them as you get into the start getting into the city that everyone is saying Baldur's Gate is next, but no one really truly knows who or what has claimed El Terrell at this point.
Watch out for ice.
The Patriarchs pay a small mercenary army called the Flaming Fists to protect their interest in Baldur's Gate. So kind of similar to the Orders of the Companion, who were not paid mercenaries, were like a paladin guild that were the police force of El Terrell. In Baldur's Gate, it is the Flaming Fists who are mercenaries. They have gained even more power since their charismatic leader, older Ravengard, claimed the title of Grand Duke a few years ago. From the rumors that you hear, apparently people are saying Grand Duke Ravengard is missing. In his absence, the Flaming Fists have sealed the city gates to staunch the flow of refugees. No one is allowed in or out.
Is
Well,
that to both the upper and lower city, Phil?
Yes. So, you've been traveling the dirt road that stretches through the outer city slums. There's a bridge that goes over the Chianthor from the south side of the river to the north side where the city is, called Worms Crossing. And you've encountered many more refugees as you've kind of crossed that bridge into the outer city. There are tents being set up in the streets sometimes, sparking arguments with some of the local shopkeepers and guild members and local people. There are refugees calling out for food, asking for names, and giving you descriptions of people if you've seen them. There's you hear locals kind of just calling for this filth to be removed from their streets, and generally they're traveling in kind of groups. Sane and Charles, you would know from living in El Terrell, and Winley would probably have an idea, having been close. That they're the outer city, especially and the lower city, they have like kind of guilds and groups that form up to kind of for their own protection racket, because the Flaming Fists are a paid mercenary group, and generally the people that pay them are the rich nobles. So the law gets a little watered down as you get further out of the city, and the local communities kind of band together for their own protection. You also, as you're having conversations with some of these refugees, you start to pick up the name of Flame Zaj. So Flame is a rank of Flaming Fist. So you hear of it's a fairly high rank. I think it's like Flame, and then there's only like two more before the top. So it's a pretty high rank. And his name is Zodge, Zodge. And you've heard that he's at the Basilisk Gate, which is the gate that goes from the outer city into the lower city. And
Is he from Crapton?
from what? I'm missing a reference, aren't I?
No, Zod, Krypton,
Zod,
Zodge,
Zod.
Crapton.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Thank you, Andrew, for getting it.
You're welcome. Someone has to understand the culture here.
Oh man, can't believe I missed that.
Phil, could I have a quick second to talk with Charles?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
If they're not letting us into the city, we might need to get word to your dad. He might have some connections, and we can get past these guards potentially.
Yeah, he probably does. He knows a lot of people.
I mean, I know you don't want to talk to him because he's kind of a dick, but I don't know. This doesn't seem very safe out here with all the slumlords and the gangs, and
Right.
it's not a good place to be.
No. Yeah, we'll have to figure out how we can do that.
I don't
Not
know,
sure how
maybe-
we'll get word into the city.
I don't know. There's got to be people we can bribe to get a message or something.
Could be, yeah. Maybe one of these guards if we can get him alone.
As you guys are getting closer to the people that you're traveling with are getting more anxious and kind of like, oh, what are we gonna do? You know, most of them are pretty hungry and are like, there's a lot of refugees here, you know, like what do you guys, what's the plan?
Your
So I'm gonna go motion Sunny.
We're coming up with.
Yeah, I'll move. I'll come over to PBJ.
I'll try to
Yeah, so I'm
calm
gonna summon Sunny.
the masses by letting them know that we're working something out. Just sit still, rest, and we'll figure something out.
Zama's calming the crowd down. Sunny.
Yeah, I come over to PBJ. I'm like, "What's up?"
Okay, so now would be a good time for you to show us just how iconic Carnival is here in Baldur's Gate.
I mean, we're kind of outside the city right now. I mean, this really isn't Baldur's Gate proper, Julius. We're trying to. Charles and I are working on a plan to get us in the city.
I mean, flaunting the band name should be enough, right?
Sure, let's do this. All right, so I'll walk over to a guard, Phil.
Okay.
Like somebody
Well-
behind a gate or something.
Anna, what?
I was just gonna say, because while Zama's calming the crowd while these various conversations are happening, not necessarily that we're going to get to it tonight, Phil, depending on what the other is. Would Winley have any connections to, or at least know of, fellow librarians, if you catch my drift, in Baldur's Gate? Due to my affiliation with things.
You would probably have to do some digging. I mean, this part of the city is pretty clogged with refugees.
Okay. I just meant in Baldur's Gate in general. Like, do
Oh.
I know, based on my associates, do I know of people who are posted here? Due to who I run with.
I am going to take a rain check on that if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
I
a good
figured you
question.
might. Yeah. Because we never worked out specific, but like just due to backstory things, I was like, Baldur's Gate's big, so part of me is
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
And so.
No, good question. I got a note here. I'll follow up on that.
Okay. Yeah. Fine if we don't get to it tonight. Like totally fine. I just.
Yeah. So Sana, you're pulling a guard over.
No, so like if the guards have like, how is the gate closed? Like, is it just people standing in front? Is like.
Oh, okay. So you guys
Oh,
you're going up to like the main gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get us inside. Apparently.
So
That's what I've been tasked with by Julius.
when you guys get to the gate, so you've been hearing about this flame Zaj, and he you know, you've heard a description of him as kind of having an eye patch, dark hair, but he's the guy you should talk to. So when you get to the gate, you see about a dozen flaming fist soldiers with their backs to the door, and there's also like about 20 or so people that are kind of like let us in, and then they start. At one point, one of the guards pulls out or just starts just punching people, and then like as soon as that happens, they all just start fighting. But it doesn't. It's about maybe 10 seconds before like these veterans of the Flaming Fist Force basically just have these people on the ground and are like just kicking them. A few of the guards like you can see like they'll get somebody unconscious and then they like rip off any like bags or anything they're holding and just kind of like roll them or kick their bodies back into the crowd, and they're like, nobody's getting in, this gate's locked down. Is the guy with the eye patch is like yelling. It's like, you need to behave yourselves, rabble.
As he's doing this, Phil, can you describe what the gate looks like behind him?
Yeah, so it's a large city gate that you get like multiple wagons wide. It also has like a lot of statues and little notches in it, which is why it's called the Basilisk Gate. They're like all these little stone versions of different creatures and people in the gate, and it's kind of like in the picture. It's got the big crenulated towers on either side, and it's massive stone. These walls are fabled for having held for centuries, I think. So pretty solid gate. But and you would know, Sonny,
is there a gate down? Is the doors closed, or is it just like an open tower and they're just kind of standing in front of it? That's what
no,
the
gate's closed and they're like standing in front of it. There's like a just this force of kind of like dozen guards that are just kind of holding that are just kind of standing like bodies between the gate.
Okay.
And having seen, most likely it's like these people have just like got enough courage or are hungry enough that they've like decided to go like confront the Flaming Fist folks. From your experiences in the city, like the Flaming Fists are like, you don't generally mess around with them. Like they have pretty broad leeway. It's not unknown for them to like beat people and rob them and then like send them on their way. Or sometimes they'll take them into the jail, but like they're generally like unquestioned, and there's not like a court system that is making sure they're not being brutal in their application of the law.
Okay.
But they also generally take bribes and things like that too. They're not a very scrupulous group of people.
And is there like a place where they're like posted up? Do they have like a stand or something, or are they just standing in front of it? Like, is there like a guard tower right where like they are?
Yeah, there's like a guard tower entrance that they have. That's where like, so after this kind of altercation, Flame Zodge like goes back to this like area with like a few of the people, and the main group of guards kind of stays in front of the door and is just like making sure the crowd's not like trying to crush themselves against the door or do anything stupid.
So when the beating was happening, could I have taken actions? Like before, while they're beating the crap out of people, could I do stuff? I guess I was just trying to get a understanding for myself, like what the scene looked like.
Sure. Yeah. You're all kind of like, you get up to the gate and you guys are all probably, I don't know, 50 feet from the gate or so, and you start to hear this ruckus. And if you pressed in closer, you'd probably be 20 feet away, maybe.
Yeah, I would say as I'm pressing closer through the crowd, I'm going to turn invisible.
Okay. Well.
And I'm going to go to where the guard tower is.
Okay.
New ability?
All right.
Yeah, do I see him go invisible?
I was going to say, like...
Just disappear. That's all.
So...
I was right next to him, so I'd probably see him go... Whoop.
Yeah, are you trying to... I guess
I'm trying to like blend into the crowd and then like disappear. So like I'm trying to like sneak past. So if you want me to roll a stealth check first,
if you want to try to stealth away and then everyone else can.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to like blend into the crowd and then disappear.
Perception.
Okay. So yeah, I guess everyone give me perception and give me a stealth from Sane.
Okay.
Oh, nice. It's always nice when you get that high stealth roll.
Yeah, when you need it, right?
Oh, that's persuasion. I want perception. Where are you? There we go. Normal.
You could also just use their passive perception, Phil. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yep.
I feel like at this point they're always actively like, "Where's Sane?" Just like every few minutes.
I think
they're like,
Winley's a
just
little
has-
more shady than Sane, right? As soon as we kill somebody, she's like, "Loot at the bodies!"
This will probably make it easier. I personally don't care if Sane's getting it or not. So you can use my passive perception, although I really like my roll, but you can use my passive perception because I'm not really looking forward to that because I'm also trying to calm the crowd down, so I'm not really paying attention to knowing what anybody else is doing outside the crowd.
I think
Yeah. It was like I wouldn't necessarily be like just because Sane and Charles like know this city, I'd occasionally be glancing your directions, just kind of like the what should we do kind of glance. I'm not like, what's Sane doing? But it's one of those of like, what we doing? Like it's more of that than anything else.
I don't think anybody has a 25 passive perception. So.
No.
Nope.
Not yet.
All right, so
not
you're
yet, not yet.
So you're going invisible.
Yeah. So I want to go invisible, and I want to try to get to their little outpost. I would like to try to get inside and try to see if I can steal some sort of a like pass or to get inside, right? Like what paperwork they have, and can I just take something quickly while they're beating the shit out of a bunch of people and they're distracted. That's my goal.
Okay. What's everyone else doing? Well, this beating starts.
Just taking it, backing up.
Fair. 14 hit points. Good idea.
Yeah, I'm just observing it.
Okay. Simon, Winley?
Yeah, I think at this point I'm just going to observe the whole thing, being that I'm not a cleric of Mishakal. I'm not gonna. I'll just kind of keep an eye out and see and make sure that none of our party, our caravan, does anything stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do want to take note. Are they letting any merchants come in to sell goods?
You haven't seen any. I mean, you've just arrived at the door, so you haven't really seen anyone go in or out.
Well, I do want to take note if there's anything like that, just because that might help.
Okay.
I got enough wagons, and I can say that we're merchants, a traveling merchant band. So, yep.
What's Winley doing?
I was gonna do. I mean, I can't go invisible, not yet. But I was gonna do similar logic to what Sane was doing. So I'm not super familiar with Baldur's Gate. Winley doesn't know the city the way those two do. But I would be very carefully, indiscreetly, because I do a lot of just flicking with my eyes because my passive perception is very high. I would be kind of looking for, are there any weak points along this gate? Are there any, almost like, I mean, this is just where my brain's going because it's 9:45 on a Tuesday, but in Helm's Deep, there's the one little drain that's like the weak point. Like I'd be looking all around, kind of like where can we get in other than this gate? Like I'd be doing kind of the little flick, or are there any like hand or foothold things anywhere along any of the walls that someone with skilled enough acrobatics would be able to get over? Not the common person, but could someone with enough skill, are there any weak points? I'd be kind of assessing this wall and gate.
Gotcha. Yeah. Give me a investigation check, and while you're rolling that, I'm just gonna move Sani ahead a little bit. So you're invisible. You're coming up to a table. There are some notes on the table. All of the guards seem to be distracted at this point, so there's no one at the table.
So can I just take the stuff? And
You could.
Stash it in my bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any like keys or anything like that as well?
No, just papers.
Just papers. Okay. So yeah, I would take the papers and not a safe or anything as well.
No.
Okay. Okay. Are there like badges or insignias or any sort of like coats with their like logos or anything of that nature in this area?
They are wearing, like the guards are wearing an insignia that looks like this.
Okay.
But there are not any that are laying around out there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'll take the papers, and then as I see things wrapping up, I'll dip back into the crowd.
Okay.
And then eventually I'll come up behind PBJ and then just like poke him, like to spook him, and then be visible, like when I'm doing it, right? So I'll like sneak up
Be
behind
visible.
him, and then I will, appear and like jump scare him.
Ah. Where the hell did you go?
Well, I mean, did you see the chaos of the crowd? I mean, they just started beating the shit out of people. I don't think these guys give a fuck that Carnal, who is Carnal, they're just in the mood to, like, kick ass and take names.
Have you tried talking to them yet?
Did you see what happened to the guy that said open the gates? He got his teeth kicked in. I don't think
Well,
they're
he
in the
wasn't
fucking
Carnal.
mood, Julius. I mean, if you want to go talk to these guys, go for it. But I think they're going to punch you, and you're going to fall down, and then they're all going to kick you. And maybe you go to sleep forever, or maybe you don't. I don't know. But it's probably a bad idea to mess with these guys right now.
For the dice, for Winley, for your investigation check, you're pretty sure this wall's fairly secure. Given enough time, you might be able to find a contact that knew either who you could bribe or who, like there might be a way in, but it would take you a little bit to find somebody. So at this point, the fighting kind of dies down. Like all the people that like charged the gate are like either being helped away by other refugees or kind of limping away, and the guards are like restationing themselves in front of the door. The guy with the eye patch kind of walks back over to the table and he's like, "What? Who took my papers? God, hey, refugees are the worst." And that's where we'll leave it for the night.
All right.
You're on mute, Eric.
I said Asani's sitting there going through papers and just like looking at what he's found.
Yeah.
It's like, you took Winley's favorite thing, papers. It's Winley sees you going through papers, she's immediately gonna be like, what are those?
Yeah, I'm
Which
a
we will
stealthy
deal with
bard.
next time. Winley being, what's that?
Well, thanks for bearing with me through El Terrell and through the travel, but we are now at Baldur's Gate.
And
So
we have a lot of refugees to try to figure out what to do with that are all starving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least
Yes, you do, Ashley. You have a bunch of refugees to worry about.
well,
I have two people to worry about. Lyra and Charles. Maybe PBJ Every time I go somewhere with you, Sama, you're getting me killed, and Winley's a little shady, so we don't know about her yet.
What? But
Winley shared rations with PB&J every single day.
That's called bribe money. You know?
Oh.
I like to think it was like with the psychic connection that it was like you were like baby birding him, but it was like teleporting it into his mouth. He would just be walking along and just...
the
PBJ has like the
Open up.
Stockholm syndrome now. He's like, yes, I'll do whatever you want.
the nice thing is that
Feed me, I'm starving.
the river is higher, no more disadvantage because we're not moving. I have fishing nets. I can at least fish for a little hot minute and, at least spend it.
Yeah, until like these starving people just murder you because you pull out fish in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You're the Messiah now.
Yeah. Gotta figure out something
No,
else.
this is like the end of times. We're like the refugees outside the gate starving to death, and people are just gonna go crazy and like murder each other over a morsel of bread, right?
Yep.
Like that's the situation we're in. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
How much XP did we get to DM?
Ooh,
Oh.
look at that.
Asking the real questions.
And as useful occasionally, how much XP did we get in the background?
Sorry, I didn't prep everything. Let me do some math here. But I'll get you a number. Where did I put that? Okay, session notes.
Not gonna lie, thought that combat was gonna be a lot harder.
Well, we're still not
I
at
was
900,
prepared for like an
right?
hour of combat. I was like, this is gonna suck. Especially because two of them were right on top of Winley, and I was like, God damn it! Like,
I think once.
Well, because I didn't think we were gonna one shot that presumably necromancer that Julius just boof with his crit on that scorching ray. Because I thought he was gonna like summon skeletons, and we were gonna have to deal with summons. I thought I was gonna be like a whole mess. And so...
Nope.
No.
You're Potter Puff Gang.
I was like, I was paranoid going in. I was rereading all my new abilities because I was like, this is gonna suck. It's gonna be a long combat, and then we just one shot everyone.
I figured there was going to be close to a run shot, but I didn't think that the big bad one of that was going to go down that fast. That one I thought was going to be a little bit.
Well, the crit helped. I mean, that was a nat 20, so.
Did not see that one.
I mean, full disclosure, I was like, oh, if I keep giving you guys super hard fights, you're gonna out-level the actual module by the time you get to Baldur's Gate. So I did have to throw some little light fights at you there. Sorry.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Otherwise, I'm gonna like doom myself to a lot more prep to beef up these boss fights.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I also just find it funny because last game, when we all got our one turn of combat, I critted, and then, like, Julius critted this game, and so it's like this, in an already not necessarily super difficult fight, we're critting, so it's like, that makes it even easier.
I mean, it's not like it's super bad. The game kind of, like the original module, doesn't level you up fast enough.
Oh, really?
So there's all these like, everybody's gonna TPK at this certain point, but I think having all this intro stuff helped balance that out. So, so I'll try to kill you a different way. So we go with.
Andrew, I added the 2 new songs that you had to the stream.
Cool.
I don't know if they're going to play because I have it set as random. So I don't know if they're going to play tonight, but they will play at some point. They are already on the stream.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
They're fun.
Okay. Hopefully that worked. I always feel like I end up clicking the wrong thing, but I should have given you all 305 experience.
That's what I got.
Yep.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Alright.
So that's for that fight. That, I mean, you leveled halfway through it, so you weren't quite at it didn't quite get you to level 3. Well,
That
anyway,
would have, I think.
here's your experience.
Wouldn't have gotten it? Are we still level 3? But yeah.
I didn't give it to you last session because you
We
were
were
like
at
mid-fight, but
887.
it's what put you
Yeah,
push
and
you over.
yeah, so we were down to
Right.
87. Yeah.
Okay.
So like we didn't have enough to get to level 3.
Right, I
'cause
knew
Phil's
that much, but this would have put
trying
us
to
there.
keep us down like the man with this boot on our neck.
So,
He doesn't like that we're grinding and trying to get higher levels.
I just wanted to get you guys to a place where I have maps. And I don't
That's
have to
all.
prep maps.
I just want maps. I don't want to look for them anymore. Google search sucks.
And then, yeah, first I gotta find a picture, and then I gotta put it in Forge, and then I gotta draw all the walls and lighting on it, and then I gotta...
You don't need to do all that stuff, Phil.
Yeah, well, even if you don't, just like you get, it's like you get these maps where you're like, oh, the grid doesn't line up. I gotta figure out the grid line.
Oh gosh.
It's okay if it's a little off. It's not going to be the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world.
It was hilarious that the dead skulls like lined up over the skull masks,
That
though. That
was
was
pretty
great.
That was.
That was hilarious.
Mhm.
Because I
was
made
pretty
that
cool.
token. Like,
Oh,
that's not the
really?
token that comes with those. I made. Yeah, so that was like a screenshot from the book that I made into an, loaded in and then made into a token.
Wow.
And it just happened to line it up perfectly for
That was hilarious. That it was like.
That's too cool.
I was like, what? Wait, are they dead or are they? Oh,
Too
who
cool.
knows?
They all dead, or are they just mostly dead?
Yeah,
We're
mostly.
dealing with necromancy. You can never be sure.
Well, so 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, we all gonna be here. What's that? 2 weeks from now.
Oh, yeah.
First,
Should be.
be the 8th.
April 8th.
I will know probably beginning of next week.
Okay.
Yeah. I got no issues.
Cool. So.
Yeah, Eric, we have another selection round for who gets to go to Mexico again tomorrow.
Well, hopefully you don't have to go.
We'll see how tomorrow goes.
Alright, so may or may not be down to player, but otherwise, sounds like we'll all be here on the 8th in 2 weeks.
Ashley, don't forget to raid.
Yeah, I have it all set up. I'm going to raid
Oh,
the...
you're ahead of it. She's on it, Mark.
Yeah, the Nat 20 show, the one that was recommended to me. So it's all set up and ready to go. And yeah, and then next week we have Dragonlance, also April 1st. So yeah.
Will the party survive? Leroy Jenkins. Find out.
Yeah. So, all right. With that, yeah, the raid started. So I hope. Let's see. Will it let me? Just, okay, there you go. And so we'll go on raid. See everyone next week or 2 weeks from now. Let's see here.
The armor and that you have tried to
I gotta bounce because this is my last week before spring break, and my students are really hinged, and we're working with very high molarity chemicals tomorrow, so I need to get some sleep. I was like, we're reacting zinc with hydrochloric acid. It's gonna make a lot of people have nosebleeds. It's super fun from fumes.
That's great.
I don't have a fume hood in my room, so I have to carry it back into the stock room on like a tray. So I'm at risk of like breathing. Even with my safety goggles on, it dries out the air really bad, and so people with sensitive sinuses get nosebleeds in this lab all the time. So I'm just anticipating a bunch of kids being like, needing tissues as their nose is bleeding, and I'm like, it'll be so fun to explain to parents. I gave a quiz today because so many of my kids are already telling me, well, Miss Bowles, I'm not coming to school Thursday or Friday. Like, I'm just not coming. And I'm like, well, okay, the marking period ends on Friday, and so I suppose with every unit you're just getting zeros, and that's your grade because you come back from spring break. Like, that's what it is. What? But I won't be here. Yes, and? Because you're not here. Well, can we just watch a movie or something? No. We cannot. You're doing lab every day for the rest of the week.
9 pounds force and pain. Demons we will chain. Through this hellish strain, glory will obtain.
They can do it early, but again, that's why I gave my quiz today. Some of the other teachers are giving them on Thursday because Friday's a half day. And it's like, oh, y'all crazy giving it on Thursday because so many kids are not going to show up. And our grade book closes on Friday at 10:43 when we leave for break. And so, like, if you're absent, well, fuck you. You get a 0. Like, there's no way around it. And so, unless you had, like, a parent note to take it in advance, you can't take it after. Like, no, that was your choice, not kind of thing. So, yeah. Which a lot of my kids, when I try to point that out to them, like, no, it's not so that's not excess. But every drop of filthy surprise and everyone in the sky.
All right.
It's raining madness everywhere. Sticking to my skin. A storm I just can't evade.
No.
Misplay no
Oh, it's just, you're never gonna do what you
Oh, you thought we were going to get further
Yes, but like, you know, it's like one of those things where, I don't know if you have this routine where you're like, alright, I'm just gonna hand wave and speed through this thing and you get like one sentence out and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this. Wow, that's happening. Like, I'm like, oh no, this is
Well, you made the travel a pain in the ass because you had no rations, right? So then you had to lay out every day.
Yeah. Well, and that was kind of intentional. It was like, I don't know, I've been experimenting with it, so it's like just been a learning thing for me too. It's like, you know, the new rules, and it's like I wanted to try travel, I wanted to try some of these rule sets out and stuff. So some of these keys and encounters and stuff I've been doing, and I just wanted to see like, how do 10 days of travel work? And I think, I don't know, I think I just need to come up with a better way to re-roll and re-review the rules. Because like the DMG rules would have you write that travel in 10 days in pieces. Not necessarily, but I don't know what that really means. Yeah, so you wouldn't do every day, you would just do like, how long are you gonna, you know, you're gonna travel for 3 days. What travel speed are you gonna do for the 3 days? And what, and you would just roll accordingly. But I need to review that a little bit more. But it was nice to go through and get a feel of what felt comfortable.
It's raining madness everywhere. Sticking to my skin.
Yeah. Well, and you guys are in an easy situation where you have like a river to follow, so like, you know, it gets a lot harder if you were like traveling to a place you didn't know where it was exactly, and like going through temperate terrain, like the DCs get a lot harder, and like you actually need to navigate, like you need somebody to actually be leading the way. I mean, you guys didn't really have to do any navigation steps because you were following the road. But I think if I was gonna do travel, I would probably just like put it into a spreadsheet.
Late nights on the
Where you can
stage,
just kind of
lights flashing
toggle
red.
what
You
you
know
guys
I'm
choose,
trying to
and it
get
just
in
spits
your
out the
head.
numbers. I figured
But
at the
every
end,
time I
just make it
think
faster.
I've got my shot, my drummer's there making sure I do not. I play lead, no spotlight to steal, but every move feels like a third wheel.
But yeah, I mean, I did want the pressure of like, how do you know these
Afraid I
people?
won't leave you alone.
I mean, obviously we show up to the city, and there's all these other starting
Every
refugees too,
time
so
I
it's
think
not like
she's
you show up
getting
and like
hot,
order
I'm
pizza and
left here
everybody's
cold
good.
with his tambourine. He's the worst wingman
You're not
I've ever seen.
you're not like a lawful good player. You don't have to give a shit about everything. Right? We're gonna dump the no name.
But you can.
I see the way she's looking my way.
No, you can choose to
With
not
something
give a
to
shit
say.
about that.
I'm left hanging like a struck chord.
Remember the
Every
creed.
time I think I scored. Drummer boy, I know you got my back. Except when we're under attack. When it comes to love, you're killing my vibe.
Well, I
Another
mean,
night, another
they're
ride.
conquerors. There's no
Crash off
army.
the cymbals, blocking my shot. Every
the thing
time I think
with
she's
the,
getting hot, I'm left here
fish
cold
that I
with
will
his
say is,
tambourine.
the river's
He's the
only
worst
just
wingman
started coming
I've
back
ever
up, so
seen.
like, the fish population may not be what it was.
At least have a bunch of people fishing it too, right?
Essentially, yeah. But I mean, the river's been was dry for like 6 days, right? Like, as where the river was coming from was flowing into what was the so as you were traveling, like the riverbed was dead, they're dry, and all the fish are dead at the bottom of the riverbed.
Drama boy, I know you got my back. Except when we're under attack. When it comes to love, you're killing my vibe. Another night, another bride. Crash off the cymbals, blocking my shot. Every time I think she's getting hot, I'm left here cold with this
Yeah, they're like
tambourine.
the army.
He's the worst wingman I've ever seen.
Or they police outside. Yeah, they're all. Yeah, I guess I don't know if I gave you a copy of that actually, but the Hellriders have all signed the creed, which it's like a their values or whatever, you know, like I feel like
Shining in the suits up high. Looking down with those blind eyes. Never hear us, never see. Shut your light, they'll never be. Whispers in their golden heart.